and out, both. Oh, okay. What did it record? Just the inside and out part?
Yeah, that's
because I was talking about big dicks.
No, don't start the podcast that way.
I'm not the one who's in control of the record button.
Well, I had to hit record at one point. You just kept saying it. We would have been here for 20 minutes if I didn't hit record.
20 minutes of me talking about big dicks and no record of that happening.
Yeah.
We can't really have that either. This is gonna be important for historians in about 50 years.
Oh yeah, people are gonna be like, we need a concise and inept description of a film.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna turn? Obviously, this podcast, and then they're just gonna be greeted with great big dicks all day.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna wanna. No historian's gonna take that seriously.
Oh, they're gonna love it. It's gonna drive them to get into like sociological development. Why is this guy talking about big dicks right off the bat?
Why?
Oh, this must be a societal issue. I blame COVID and Elon Musk.
I blame the schools.
Yeah, also those. Because you can't even get through a lesson anymore without somebody coming in with an AR. I'm just trying to learn algebra.
I didn't have that issue.
No, neither did I. Not a single. We had one lockdown drill for all high school. My whole high school experience, we had one. And even then, I was like, it's silly. You're going to have us sit on the ground in the dark against the wall of the classroom where anybody who goes to school, which is the people who shoot them up, knows you're in there.
That's not a...
Oh, the hallways are empty? Well, they're probably in the classrooms. Let me see what's inside there.
That's a tornado drill, Jay.
A tornado drill's in the hallway.
But it's against the wall. That's tornadoes.
Oh, so the drill for tornadoes in Ontario, Canada is the same as the drill for school shootings, apparently.
I think you're remembering a tornado drill.
It was definitely a lockdown drill because I was in art class and the art teacher was like, yeah, I was in one of these.
A tornado? Yeah.
I saw a school shooting.
She probably went to Oz and crushed a witch with her house.
I'll tell you right now, if she was anybody in that movie, she would have been the Wicked Witch of the West because goddamn was she a nightmare.
Thank you for saying that.
One time I got into an argument with her about what a collage meant. What do you think a collage means, just off the top of your head? If you hear the word collage, what do you picture?
A mess.
Exactly. Thank you. So I just my project was just a bunch of things I liked. Mishmash together.
That's a collage.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it is.
That's
apparently
a collage?
It's not, though, because it had no underlying statement.
Oh.
Well, I didn't know I was in fucking poli-sci.
See, and when you said she was the Wicked Witch of the West, I thought you were going to say because she was so wet.
She also had a big nose.
Oh, okay, well.
Which, from memory, so does the Wicked Witch of the West.
Well, I'm glad she wasn't wet, Jay.
No, she wasn't wet. It would be wrong of her to be wet around high school students.
Well, thank you for saying so. My God. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Jay had a horrible high school experience.
Oh, for so many reasons.
And this is the podcast.
It is.
We reminisce on Jay's terrible high school art lockdown.
Yeah.
And also apparently a school shooting.
One time for the senior prank, all of the 12th graders decided to have a food fight in the cafeteria. And then I wasn't in 12th grade at the time. They made us clean it up. Because we were in the classroom closest to the cafeteria.
I would have left school that day.
I sure as shit did. That's exactly what I did. I was like, this isn't my mess. Why am I cleaning it up? That was pretty much it. Then I just went away.
I would have just hid the food underneath rugs and shit. Just made it a bigger mess.
Shout out to my high school's cafeteria for having the most delicious pizza wraps I've ever eaten. I'll tell you that.
You know what? I'll fucking fight you because I feel like my school had the best pizza wraps.
You're wrong.
I feel like...
You grew up in the country, so it's probably goat cheese in there.
I feel like these pizza wraps were one and the same, and they came from a company.
High likelihood. It's probably a factory in St. Mary's, the same one that like packages dips.
Did you also get the pudding with the cookies in it?
No, but we did have the giant, softest cookie in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, but you didn't get the pudding cups.
No.
It was like a chocolate
First of all, I fucking hate pudding, but no.
Whoa. Oh, wow.
Pudding makes me feel like a fucking, like I'm 80.
What's wrong with that?
Pudding and yogurt, both.
Delicious.
What am I, 80 years old?
Delicious.
I can't chew a solid? I get my nutrients in a thick soup.
There's nothing nutrient about it. It's a fun dessert for any age. You don't need to have teeth or a gullet to enjoy that.
It's important to me to have teeth and utilize them properly, though.
Oh, this guy. Oh, too good for... He wants to chew his pudding. Oh, we'll leave it out for a day. Yeah.
Well, that's gross, though.
I saw a guy on YouTube dehydrate it. He made dehydrated pudding, like pudding jerky.
Yeah. Oh, was it like a thick strip?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, it is.
Because when I picture dehydrate, I just thought like a powder, and then you add water, and it turns into pudding.
No, it seemed like the skin on top.
Oh, so the part you don't want.
Yeah.
The part that you throw it all out because it has that.
Yeah, but he was into it. He was into. It might have been on TikTok actually.
I've seen some people eat fucking raw. There are people who exist who are on raw meat diets.
The Liver King. I'm good with not having diarrhea. I mean, I'm gonna have it, but it's not gonna be from raw meat.
Yeah, I'm sick.
That's for sure.
I'm just fine with not whatever diseases are in just raw meat tacitly. I don't need those in my body.
No,
I'll burn those right off like the sun.
No, if it's not cooked, I send it back.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just one rung down the ladder from eating raw chicken and dying.
That's true.
So anyway, well, welcome to Grindhouse Movie Club.
How's it going?
You can go to grindhousemovie.club and listen to more of this.
Listen to what? What are we at now? 5 of these?
We're at like 43.
43? Okay, I haven't been keeping track of the numbers.
We've got like 80 hours of
that's a lot
of nonsense, and it's right there for you to listen to. 80 whole hours of it, and it's accompanied by a theme song by Andrew. Thank you very much, Andrew, for that.
Andrew, who has adopted a Japanese last name that I refuse to try and pronounce.
Links in the bio. In the show notes.
Show notes.
I don't know, because like you click on the podcast and then there's like, what am I typing this description in for if not for you to see?
Somebody's got to be looking at that.
Wherever you go to see stuff, look at it.
Yep. Use your eyes. Comprehend the words therein.
Boom shakalaka.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't said that in a long time.
Well, let's bring it back then.
Boom shaka? That's a whole song, though, isn't it?
I don't know what
I feel like it was in Dumb and Dumber.
Probably. People keep referencing Dumb and Dumber to me as if I've seen it more than one time when I was 10.
Whoa. Okay. Well, that's fine, Jay. That's fine.
I haven't.
I haven't watched it this year, but like I've seen it enough times.
I watched it once, and the only thing I remember is the fucking big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.
You don't remember it? You don't remember Jim Carrey licking the pole and getting his tongue stuck?
No.
And then like stretching it horrifically out?
Like The Mask? No. I remember the big gulps, and I remember the most annoying sound on earth, or in the world, or whatever it is the fuck that he says, because both of those were improv, and that's impressive to me. You
don't remember the little blind boy, and they like bust the little bird's neck?
No.
And they give it back to him, and he's just like, oh, pretty bird. Pretty bird's not saying much.
Oh.
And it's like the bird's like head's like taped on.
Oh, no. No, I don't remember that. I probably repressed it as a child.
That happens, and then like they're like driving on the motorbike, and he's like, hey, I gotta piss. And he's like, just go, man, just go. And then they like stop, and like the piss has frozen them together when they get off the bike.
Oh my god! Why would you even stop? Just keep driving. Exactly. What good is a motorcycle? What good is a vehicle with no windows if you can't just take your dick out and piss?
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. Well, what's a little piss between pals?
Yeah, literally between them. You're already hugging a guy.
You are?
You might as well piss.
You might as well. That's
you know what?
The next logical step.
Etch that onto my tombstone. Might as well piss.
Might as well piss.
Yeah, that's my life slogan from now on.
Sounds like a song.
Yeah.
Might as well piss up on the mountaintop.
Garth Brooks sings it.
Might as well piss.
Luke Bryan sings that.
I
just country singers. That's
I don't know. You're saying names.
Country singers' names. That's it.
Two first names. That's
all
you
need. I've been on Tinder too long to not know country singers' names.
Jay.
Yeah.
You need better stuff.
Find some.
Well, look. This week, I mean, I didn't bring you. I'm sorry. It's not good this week.
As far as the movie?
Yeah. I mean, so this movie was not a better thing for me to bring you.
I'll tell you. I like this movie a decent amount.
Okay.
I have a lot of complaints about it.
Oh, me too.
A ton of them.
Me too. But for sure.
The one compliment that I can give the movie is that there's not really a dull moment for the most part. There are a couple spots where it's a little bit slow, but like I felt as I was watching it, like things were just happening to me constantly, almost.
For the most part, I found there was a couple spots where I didn't really need to pause the movie.
Yeah, there were.
I could just write what was happening, and
as far as our history goes, though, like fucking Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Okay, you could just leave that playing while you write notes. Hardware, you can just leave that playing while you write notes because it's dumb. And like 15 other movies that we've done that have been the same. This one I paused a lot.
I feel like I've developed a sixth sense for when I feel like I'm going to need to pause the film.
Yeah.
And like, here comes something. I'm going to pause it so I don't miss much. But then there's like times where it's like, they're just walking.
Yeah, there was a lot of walking.
There was a Lord of the Rings amount of walking. Comparable to.
And they never even got it to Mordor.
They left Mordor. This was the way back.
They did. This movie starts with, like, how many times have you seen an introduction sequence that has this much fire that wasn't Terminator 2 Judgment Day?
There's very few films that start with that, like, yeah.
Just fucking buildings and cars burning like it's 1991 in Los Angeles.
By the way, the movie's The Crazies.
Yes, it is. We should probably mention that.
And do you have 2 sentences or less to spoil this film?
My 2 sentences or less are the same as one of the themes I used to pick movies for you.
Okay.
There's something in the water.
Okay. All right.
Never trust a fucking dirty small town's dirty, filthy water.
How about this? Cabin fever, town fever.
It doesn't even start as cabin fever. It starts as baseball fever.
I wrote a haiku about the
nice.
intro.
Okay, let's go with that.
Your house is on fire. Your town is on fire too, though. How about Johnny Cash?
They didn't, the We'll Meet Again song, that's a song. Mm-hmm. But this movie, I want you to know, by the way, on the list from last week, you also had Dawn of the Dead.
Yes.
This movie is a remake of a 1970s movie, also by George Romero.
It sure is.
And I didn't know that.
I learned that because I was trying to find this movie before I saw that you had gotten it, and it's the old one is on YouTube for free.
Amazing.
And I had to just jumped to the middle,
and
it was like George Romero was like in the credits, but I jumped to the middle. I was like, oh, this is old.
Yeah, I am curious to why. I might actually watch it because I want to see how good of a job he did.
You know what else this movie has?
What's that?
It's got like jaunty juxtaposition music.
Yes, it does. A couple things about that. First of all, anyway, my point was in Dawn of the Dead also there's a Johnny Cash song, but it's The Man Comes Around.
Okay.
And they should have chosen that song for this movie instead of We'll Meet Again, because nobody in this movie ever meets another person again. It's just a lie. It never happens. Everyone fucking dies.
Whoa!
Spoiler alert, everyone in the movie dies.
Holy goddamn moly, motherfucking cannoli. You just went ahead and... Well, that's the podcast. Damn, 13 minutes? That's the best one yet. Yeah. All right.
All right, the Crazies. 7 out of 10, everybody dies. That's also my rating. 7.
So the film starts with Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
It does.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Banana.
Also would have been a better song to choose.
Banana.
Than a semi-romantic, emotional Johnny Cash "I'm Dying Soon" song.
And it's the song from like Jackass where they play the Ryan Dunn tribute, and I was like, oh.
And I had no choice but to just think of that the whole time that I was hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. The end credits of the last Jackass movie Ryan Dunn was in before he fucking died.
Ah, dang. One of the funniest guys in a fireball?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Sure am stoked for this movie where the viral infection is so nebulous I can't peg it.
And you just don't want to peg it. It's crazy. You want to keep
peg it. You'll get infected.
You want to keep that peg to yourself.
Yeah. Unpeg it.
All right. So this movie's Terminator 2, and then all of a sudden, like, it just goes to farm stuff.
Yeah, farm stuff. Right.
Farm stuff is happening.
Old lady on a lawnmower with curlers still in her hair. Like, that's a legendary old lady.
I wrote, if you live in a small town, this is what's happening on the outskirts of town that makes the rest of town smell like fecal matter for weeks out of the year.
100%.
Whatever those people are up to is what makes your town stink.
You ever been inside Stratford, Ontario?
Yeah.
It's a pretty bustling almost city, but then every so often it hits you in the nose.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Just a reminder, we still spray fecal matter all over the field.
Cows shit everywhere out here.
Yeah, and we use it. It grows the food you eat.
We use it.
We use every part of the kill. Give me the fecal matter.
Yeah, so like you're right on the fucking juxtaposed like score, but then also it kind of fits because Timothy Olyphant, who is the main character in this movie as David, he has one emotion, well, two, I guess, and they're anger and confusion. And then the way that he displays those emotions is, it's kind of like, again, in The Mask, when, or a Looney Tunes cartoon where an anvil falls on somebody's foot. He's got, like, this fucking deer in the headlights look all the time.
Yeah.
And totally incapable of showing sadness or crying at all.
I'll give you that.
You know?
What do I know him from?
You know him from the Santa Clarita Diet.
Damn it. All right. Yeah, that's what I know him from.
And you know him as, what's his shithead name in the office?
Danny Cordray.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah, that's the guy.
And then a Western show that my grandfather used to watch that I can't remember the name of now.
It doesn't matter.
It's like Lone Star or some shit.
You had me at Danny Cordray.
Yeah.
So we got Danny Cordray.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I called him Sheriff because I know his name's David, but I was trying to learn how to spell sheriff today, and I spelled it a lot of fun ways. A lot of really fun ways to spell sheriff.
There's really only one way to spell sheriff that's correct, though.
Oh, well, I spelled like Sharifaroo and Sharif. Sharifarif and...
Sharif don't like it. Rock the Casbah.
I don't know any of the words to the song. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's all.
I don't know what a Casbah is, but it's been rocked.
It has. And the Sharif, he's pissed.
Well, it's because his babies died. I imagine the Casbah to be some sort of crib.
It's not.
Well, how do you don't know what it is?
It's like a nightclub.
Right into the grind.
Tell me what a fucking Casbah is, and then also tell your grandmother to stop telling you stories because only people from 1940 have ever used that word.
Well, them and whatever that band was from the 80s. Yeah. I don't know.
The Clash.
Sure.
Which now I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, but bad music, not good music at all. I hope that was super wet that when I just whispered because I feel like it was.
My socks are wet, that's for sure. So we got married police officer, Sheriff McDoctor's husband, Santa Clarita, Danny Cordray here.
Yep.
And you know what? He's married.
It's a pretty long fucking name. Is he Scandinavian?
Oh yeah, and he's married.
Yeah.
They make due point of zooming right in on the ring.
Zoom right in on the ring. Also, like later on in the movie, it's very obvious that she's pregnant without them saying that she is.
Oh, it didn't. No, it wasn't.
Oh, fuck yeah, it was. I'll tell you exactly why it was.
Okay.
When she wakes up in the morning, oh my God, I'm skipping so far ahead. When she wakes up and she notices, I hate in movies when they do the shot of somebody rolling over in bed and finding out that their partner is not in bed, as if when you're married, suddenly your fucking circadian rhythms just match right up. Oh, I'm sorry, I woke up earlier than you. Like, why is that a surprise? Sometimes people wake up earlier than you. Mm-hmm, whoops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're lucky we left you sleeping.
Anyway, she fucking walks right past a child's room with a crib in it, and there's no baby.
I missed that. Okay, fine.
You know?
I wasn't that. This is where I was writing.
Yeah.
This is one of those times where I was like, I don't need to fucking watch this. Well, that's later.
We get fucking Dr. Wife here, which
Dr. Dutton.
Obviously, she's the one bringing home the bacon here. Being a sheriff of a small town probably isn't very lucrative.
Well, I mean, look at their house. Obviously, I mean, somebody's bringing home bacon, regardless.
That house is as dilapidated as any old farmhouse.
Well, they got land.
They do. It's cheap out there. This movie is set in Iowa, where you can buy fucking 3 acres of corn for $1.
I don't know a thing about Iowa, but I did some research about Iowa. We'll come to that.
Slipknot's from there.
Oh,
that's all I know.
Are you sure it's not corn? Are you sure corn's not from there, Jay?
You know, it's funny. Corn are from Bakersfield, California.
Well, that's why I spelled it with a K. They've never seen a cornfield in their fucking life.
They probably haven't even eaten corn.
Yeah, so we got the doctor and her assistant, who's got a name I refuse to learn.
Her name is Becca.
Becca, mm-hmm. And Becca's a god-awful lying bitch.
What she is the least sneaky slut in the whole town.
And you know how sluts tend to be sneaky about it.
You know, some of them, you know, I don't necessarily, if I'm being whorish, want my business spread around the whole town. But we very quickly established that not only is she fucking the baseball star, but everyone knows that she is.
I think they're dating, Jay. I think that's what being a boyfriend-girlfriend is. People are like, well, those two are fucking. And if they're not, they're saving it for marriage like a good Mormon couple.
First of all, we know that's not happening because there's nothing else to do here. But watch baseball, shuck corn, and fuck. So this...
Shuck and fuck and fucking suck and shuck. Iowa... What's it?
That's on the welcome sign into the town.
Ogden Marsh.
Get ready to shuck and suck and fuck.
And get fucked while you're shucking. And suck a little while you're getting fucked and shucked. The fucking shuck and fuck. Iowa. I'm sorry, Iowa. I think your state's shaped like a square, isn't it?
Probably. I think you're thinking about Wisconsin. There's a couple. I'm sure there's a couple.
I don't know how all the states just aren't like Lego bricks stacked in there.
They should be.
Yeah, why are they all fucked up shapes? Come on now.
It has to do with Civil War shit.
Baloney.
I don't know.
Has to do with baloney.
So fucking Becca manufactures some bullshit lie so that she can go get laid under the bleachers at the fucking baseball stadium.
Her aunt is in town and she's sick.
So, because my aunt is in town is not a reason to kick off work early.
I have a
family member nearby.
You're already at work.
Yeah.
Why did you come to work today if this is the thing?
Yep.
Why did your aunt come to town if she's sick?
Why did your aunt come to town at 2 p.m.?
Why did you not bring your aunt to meet the doctor?
Oh my God, you raise a good point. Yeah, tell my doctor boss that my aunt is sick and then expect no follow-up questions.
Yeah, is she having a fever? Is diarrhea, vomiting,
What
diarrhea?
are her symptoms? Lust, wetness. Becca, in this case, is describing her own symptoms. The reason why she needs to leave early.
I thought it was symptoms of her aunt.
Well, maybe. We don't know what her aunt's up to.
Auntie Dirty Lie.
So, yeah, this lie gets sniffed out right away. And she's just like, well, I mean, the worst kept secret in town is that you're getting fucking dicked by Scotty, the dude with the best throwing arm. Mm-hmm. You know where he's throwing that arm? In.
Well, he's got a lot of practice from probably pulling it right off.
Yeah.
This movie is 2010, and
yes, it is.
You know, we know that we get the technology is gauged because she's like, well, why don't you text your aunt Scotty?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, so people can text.
Yeah, they can.
Why didn't anybody fucking text? SOS.
Nobody, because they dropped the signal. They dropped the signal after like 2 people die.
That's right. They just turned the signal down.
Yeah.
They just like took the knob and cranked it all the way down and ripped it off. The very opposite of what radio stations ask you to do.
Just being disrespectful to every radio DJ ever.
All right, no phone calls. You're done.
That's what I do when I hear Taz and Jim's voices.
Ooh.
Okay, bye.
Ooh.
I'd rather sit in silence than listen. He keeps talking. This is not going to be...
These are radio DJs.
...pertinent to anybody outside of, like, southwestern Ontario, because it's the only place that you can hear these two man-children speak to each other. But...
You better...
Very popular radio station. Ooh. Fucking guy won't stop talking about his upcoming vasectomy. He just keeps bringing it up.
Well, Jay, what else is there?
In his life, probably nothing.
One of those two is like the son to the owner of like Chorus Entertainment.
That's Taz, the older one.
Yes.
That's why he's still on the fucking radio.
Yes.
That's why it's a revolving door of co-hosts, but he's entrenched in a chair forever.
Jay's going to end up dead in a river.
Oh, kill me. We're going
to find him floating face down.
Square up. All that guy talks about is going to Cabo and taking care of his dumb kid.
Well.
I'll hit him with a tire iron.
Yikes. And we'd like to...
I just don't want to have to listen to the same Pearl Jam song 5 times a day. Is that too much to ask, radio? Every radio station ever?
I like that Pearl Jam song. I
don't even Flow. It's your favorite song.
Even Flow.
I just think of Ian Blow because Family Guy now forever.
Oh yeah. Dearest radio DJ, we're not coming for you. Don't worry, you're safe. I've got Jay contained. All right, we just deflected any legal issues.
Yeah, no problem on that. Don't even need a lawyer. That's just a waste of money.
Baseball stuff's happening now.
Baseball stuff's happening. Like, it really hammers you in the head with the fact that it's a small town, because it's nothing but everybody goes to the baseball game and poorly kept secrets.
Yeah, and then just shots of the street. The one street.
Yeah,
the one.
Which is going to come up later, too, because I get real mad at that street. So fucking, yeah, baseball. Timothy Oliphant, I gotta stop calling him by his name. Sheriff shows up at the baseball game, and he tries to get a coffee, and then the principal who runs the high school where the baseball diamond is.
Is that, okay.
Yes.
Because he calls him principal, but I'm like, why is he calling the guy who runs the baseball diamond principal?
Because it's on the property of the high school. Later on, when they set up the hurricane relief tents in the school buses for the quarantine, it's in the high school as well.
Okay.
It's like right on the baseball diamond.
All right.
And so he's like, Sheriff doesn't pay for coffee. And then Sheriff goes, you still got to pay your parking tickets, though. And then the principal goes, start a tab. Let's deconstruct that interaction real quick.
For sure.
Coffee in Iowa is probably 50 cents a styrofoam cup.
Oh, yeah. At a baseball diamond, if you're paying more than $1 for something like a 13-year-old shilled together behind a counter, you're paying too much.
You are. So kicking a petty bribe toward the sheriff isn't going to expunge your parking fines. And then also, no baseball diamond ever has started a tab on coffees for people. That's never fucking happened.
That's going to build up too. All those 50s of cents.
Yeah. You'd have to go to every baseball game for 17 years in order for that tab to be called in.
Yeah, they wouldn't even take it to court.
No.
They wouldn't be able to take it to court.
No. It's like I put a nail in your tire and now we're even. That's how you square up that tab.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, nah.
So it's stupid. It's stupid.
Dumb. Fuck them.
And so it takes all about 10 minutes for a man to just walk onto the baseball diamond full of teenage children with a shotgun.
And you know it's like, before you even see he has a shotgun, you know he's a bad man because there's one single piano note that's hit. It's like, dun.
Yeah, that's the bad man note.
And then you see.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, boom, shotgun. Okay. Fucking Sheriff husband to the doctor over here.
Yep.
Comes out onto the field. First of all, he drops his coffee.
Yeah, littering.
So you know whatever's happening is bad because he dropped that coffee.
He also committed a crime. And later on he goes and picks it up, which means that everybody knew that he littered.
Somebody probably was like, we saw that.
Yeah.
We saw what you're about to do, but we also saw what you did. So this guy, he comes out onto the damn field.
Like, you know that this is 2010 in a small town. Again, because there aren't 15 police being unwilling to engage this school shooter.
He tells the players on the field, guys, get into the dugout. Hey kids, get into the dugout where,
you know what,
there's open walls for you to be just blasted. Why don't you line up against this brick wall?
Yeah, set yourself up like shooting practice at a fucking amusement park.
Yeah,
and just pop your heads up and down like ducks.
You might as well. There's 4 walls and the one that's open is to. Where's the safety?
There isn't. How about get behind the dugout?
I had to draw like a little diagram of the dugout just so I could see if I could find where the safety was.
They hide behind the poles that keep up the awning. That's
it.
Like Bugs Bunny.
So you better hope there's only like 9 players because you could only like do 3 people if you stand like side by side.
How about this? You're already so far away that a shotgun blast probably wouldn't hit you. Just run. Just run and keep running.
Yeah.
From the man with the gun.
Here's what I'm thinking. It's like the sheriff has money on the game. So he's like, guys, hey, don't go too far.
Yeah, keep him around though. Because we can start this back up once I kill this guy.
Yeah, this game's got to finish. We're gonna need a. Yeah, and actually, you know what? This team over here, if you guys could actually get in front of the other team and call this guy some names, we'd be good.
Yeah.
I'd be square up, and my debts would go away.
Like shoot me instead.
No. So obviously, yeah, there's got to be some money riding on this game. And then he, with the shotgun, he's this this man is in the middle of a baseball field full of kids with a shotgun. And this police officer asks him to put it down about 1,000 times.
He does. During that interaction, after about the probably first or second time that he says put the gun down, this man, whose name is Rory, on his hip, points the gun right at Sheriff.
The exact opposite of putting it down.
Yeah. That wasn't enough of an indicator that he should take his gun out and shoot the man who's pointing another gun at him.
No,
he's like, he might not mean it. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt despite facing 2 barrels.
You put that gun down now. Yeah. Hey, don't make me say it 7 to 8 more times, mister. You're going to really regret this. Now, if this gentleman, Rory, were, I don't know, a different skin color, do you think that the cop would have asked him to put the gun down as many times as he did?
Rory steps over that small curb at the far end of the baseball diamond, and he gets unloaded on. Full clip.
That's exactly what I wrote. It's the second he steps on the field.
Yeah, dude. He's not even going to make it to the greenest part of the field.
Like, this gun is pointed in his face, and he's come on, man, just put it down. Put it down. You're drunk is all. You're drunk. Yeah. Put it down.
The relationships between people in this movie, and this is one of them, are very confusing to me, especially when it comes to life-threatening situations. There's a lot of making personal sacrifices for just strangers, and I guess you could just chalk that up to the fact that there's fucking 1,000 people total in your general area.
1,260.
Yeah. So just over 1,000. That's enough for me not to care about anybody.
It's not even a town. It's a township.
That's
I don't know what that means, but it's different than a town.
It's a series of towns, I think. That's it. A series of small towns somewhat close to each other.
It's like a shotgun blast of houses on the dirt.
Yeah. That's every small town is what that is. God just fucking live there.
So yeah, we got this gun. We got this situation here. How does it resolve?
Well, generally when somebody has a crazed look in their dead eyes and they're even at waist height pointing a gun at me, that's when I fire. Yeah. If I own a weapon and have it, that's when I use it.
Absolutely, that makes sense.
But Sheriff waits until he physically aims it at his head in order to pull out his gun and fire.
Yeah.
And then it's one chest shot and he dies, and people are upset about that.
First of all, it's lightning speed.
It is.
Lightning speed, he pulls it, and I think he gets him in the head.
Timothy, it's the left lung.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, because you can see the exit wound come out the back.
Okay.
But he does react as though he was shot in the head.
A lot of exit wounds in this movie.
Yep. Bunch. Anyway, that was justified. I don't know. I think to just about anybody with a working brain, that was a justified self-defense murder.
All right, Jay. Look. Yep. So, yeah, there's obviously this guy has some dilemma with what he's done here. But according to Iowa Code 704.3 on defense of self or another,
yes,
a person is justified in the use of reasonable force when they believe that such force is necessary to defend oneself or another from any actual or imminent use of unlawful force.
Well, perfect.
So he's good to go and do it again.
Yeah. No, he could do it again that same day.
That's and he's a cop. He should have been like,
know that, yeah.
And there's witnesses. He had a gun pointed at him.
Yeah.
And he even was like, hey, put it down. And when he didn't.
He tried more than most people in Iowa based on that law would try.
There were so many opportunities to put that gun down. Dude was just doing his job.
Yup.
So, yeah, there's he shoots this guy dead.
Yeah.
He's fucking dead. And then
he does more work in one day than 12 Uvalde police officers could do in one day.
Well, this was probably the most action that town's seen in.
He stopped more teens from being murdered than anyone in Texas ever has.
Boom. Not even a chainsaw involved. And then we get a shot of chemtrails for some reason. Who knows why?
I'll tell you exactly why.
Oh, lay it on me.
Because just before the shot of the chemtrails, you get to see a military drone camera.
Yeah, there's like a satellite image animation.
So that is supposed to be, anyway, the military watching the situation, and those jets flying overhead are doing the same.
Ah.
Because those jets despite the fact that they never show up again and all we get is a helicopter, it's implied that they're military jets.
I see. All right. I mean, there's two jets flying real close to each other. Then that only happens in military situations. But like, they're
military situations are a hijacking.
Yeah, with all the chemtrails, I figured it was like, all right, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, you'd think the virus comes from the sky, but it comes from the water. Actually, turns out once again, chemtrails debunked.
Cut to autopsy talk.
Yeah. I don't know how many. Now, somebody's going to have to. There's going to be a couple times during this episode of the podcast where I'm going to request people email in and correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
This one, I don't know how many funeral parlors have the only autopsy room in town in the back.
I was also wondering that.
Because this is where I go to fucking cut a Y-shaped incision into your chest, and then I just put a suit on that, and I walk you 10 feet out there, and now your family cries.
I feel like a priest shouldn't be that close to like where they do science-y, autopsy morgue stuff.
The whole, it seems like a fucking incestuous business.
It does.
This mortician has his dirty, grubby little hands in every part of the corpse process.
Is Iowa in the Bible Belt?
I believe.
Oh, well, correct me if we're wrong, but the fucking Bible Belt.
You know? They got different rules down there.
Nailed it.
Yeah. To the cross.
So the cop goes to talk to the dead person's family. We'll just...
That was a funny-ass joke. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
We're just going to go right by that horrible thing you just said.
Probably give it more than a day before you talk to the family of the person you just shot and killed.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe
there's a diplomacy involved.
Maybe just don't go up there and be like, yeah, he's a fucking drunk. He's a fucking drunk guy.
They're in the funeral home, like looking at the casket, trying to decide whether or not that's a good fit for him. Mm-hmm. And then fucking, David just comes up and goes, he was wasted on baseball.
On baseball juice.
And then
this
that
fucking
woman,
the son goes to take a swing. Yeah. Ugliest person I've ever seen.
Horrible looking son.
This family is ugly. Ugly family.
Yep, very ugly.
Just ugly. They look like a bunch of fucked up puppets. That's what they look like to me.
These are the ones that were left on the Muppet Room floor. This woman's name is Peggy. I don't know her son's name because I didn't care. He has no fucking lines in the whole movie. But his appearance didn't improve when he got infected later.
No.
He just got veinier. He looked the exact goddamn same.
Very vascular.
Yeah. He's been working out in his face only.
It's the nose. The nose is just like, he's just got like a Muppet nose.
And her nose is a witch nose.
The fucking Muppet room floor. Just cobbled together leftovers.
It's a bunch of fluff and just some eyes wide staring up. This woman, though, gives like the fucking hardest slap that I've ever seen.
Now, Jay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, though.
No.
It was a real hard slap. He just stood there and took it. I
know what two dudes' hands clapping together sound like. And that was a fully sounded over, just a dude, just one clap, just two muscular hands meeting with force.
I wasn't considering the hardest slap based on the sound it made as much as the force behind it.
I don't even think she touched him.
She potentially not. That means that Timothy Olyphant is the best physical actor on the planet because his reaction was fast and it was authentic.
Because I'm pretty sure it was nothing more than just like a. And that probably sounded way harder than...
If you watch that shit, though, she fucking comes at it like the Flash.
Well, look, I'm pretty...
She slapped him as quickly as he drew his gun to kill her husband.
Yeah, but like, with like the force of like a pillow.
I don't know. It seemed more forceful than that.
I think you're misremembering the sound effect that they placed over it.
Again, it wasn't the sound effect I cared about. It looked forceful.
All right. Well, he barely...
I wrote down sledgehammer of a slap right there.
All
right, everybody listening to the podcast, watch that movie and see if you agree, who you agree with regarding the slap force.
Was it a powerhouse slap or was it like a really bad stage acted?
Yeah. Was it tossing a wet fish into the boat?
Sound over over just a dude clapping. That's what it sounds like.
No, I agree with you on that. It was a shitty sound. It just looked better than that.
So we get the wife waking up to find that Sheriff Good Doctor wife husband is
oh shit.
He's not in bed and shit.
Oh, bummer.
Dang.
I'm still tired, so I guess I'll roll over. Nope. I'm going to get up.
Yeah, no, I better go see what my husband's up to.
Yeah, because I can't be without him in a room for more than 30 seconds.
Now he's out on the porch just doing some menial shit to a piece of wood.
Yeah, he's shaving it down. He wants it straighter.
Planing one plank of wood.
Yeah, and that apparently means that you have PTSD.
And like he's only planing a small portion of it.
Yeah, like the top half.
Yeah, but his wife was just reassures him like, hey, you did the right thing. You should fucking kill more drunks. Let's kill more drunks.
What I'm trying to say to you, husband, is that I liked it. We should just become natural born killers couple forever. Several scenes of people acting weird. People are acting weird and weird. Fucking David goes back to the baseball diamond and... first of all, David, fuck this guy for being the most bullheaded piece of shit for most of this movie.
Go on.
Well, I understand being like the leader because you're the sheriff, but at the same time, consider other people's fucking opinions sometimes. He's like, nah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this, and we're going to do it. The end. No. Hey, I have a question. No. We're just doing it.
Santa Clara to diet. Forever.
My wife's a zombie in that movie.
There's a head or something. I don't fucking know. I didn't watch it.
I'm pretty sure his wife is a zombie, and he's like, okay, well, I'm just going to feed you deads then.
Something like that.
I think that's the whole show.
I don't know.
You'll notice it's got fucking impossibly like 4 seasons. Who's watching it? Have you ever heard a single person rave about the fucking, like, talk about it in the same breath as like The Wire? Oh man, I fucking love Breaking Bad and the Santa Clarita Diet.
That's the first time that sentence has ever been said.
Yeah, dude.
Ever. In the history of sentences.
So fucking, yeah, David goes back to the baseball diamond to relive his trauma, and the principal's just sitting on the bleachers staring off into oblivion.
Well, before that, he goes to the sheriff's office.
Yeah, he does that.
And you first of all, you overhear a phone call between a deputy and just some person who's clearly calling in for gossip. Because
you got the latest story? You got the latest story about the events that happened in town?
Yeah, he's like, sorry, that's an ongoing investigation. I can't comment on that. And then the person just hangs up on him.
Yeah, and then he says amateur. Like he expected more probing from a journalist?
I guess. I figured it was just like somebody down the road was like, what's happening? Tell me. I want to know.
I'm going to call the police about it.
I got to spread the word. And then...
well, nobody in this town shares secrets. Just ask literally anyone instead of bothering the cops.
For sure.
What's the scuttlebutt, officer?
You're like, look in the jail's got one of those like windows into the cell. Hey, you killed that person or what?
It's just a guy crouched.
Was it like in the Mask or something? Doesn't he get out of jail that way? Because there's just like a...
Oh, probably.
I don't know. So, yeah, the medical examiner calls, and guess what, Jay? Rory?
Yeah.
That man was stone cold sober when he pointed that gun directly in that cop's face and got shot for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That changes nothing at all. That doesn't change a single goddamn thing. Oh, he was clean as a whistle? That's worse.
It is worse.
I wish I still had the excuse that he was wasted.
Yeah,
now he's just a dick.
Well, yeah. Now it's even more kudos to me.
Yeah. I definitely did the right thing, as it turns out.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And, yeah. So
walked onto a baseball diamond with a clear head with a shotgun in his hand?
Wow. Put that sick cow right down.
Yeah, I'm going to hang my hat on that murder.
And with that, he goes to pick up the trash that he left. Like a good Samaritan.
He does. This is like the first thing of the scene. He just beelines to that styrofoam cup. Oh, the turtles.
He picks it up, and then I'm pretty sure he's disappointed to find that there's no more coffee in it.
Like he pours the little bit that's left out, and he's like disgusted. Oh, man, I wish I could still drink that.
Shit, that was just coffee. Not good or...
that was just an average baseball coffee.
Fuck, there was no milk or nothing in that shit. God damn, that was just coffee in a cup. And yeah, you got Bill. His name is Bill.
It is.
The principal's name is Bill.
Principal.
This is the only name you need to remember, and you'll know why in a bit.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Bill is sitting there just looking off, just being like, yeah, the kids will bounce back. This is a small town. This isn't the first time they're gonna see somebody murdered. He doesn't say that, but
that
he's
shit
like,
happens every time our kids get too far into the corn.
just stay out of the corn.
Yeah, dude, don't go in there. There's demons in there.
Yeah. So he's just like, I don't know. He's just like saying like, yeah, the kids will be fine. Mm-hmm. I'm not, but the kids will be fine.
And then a bell rings. He's like, I'm late. Peace. And then Bob, oh, someone else in the town's acting weird. What's that about? Let's go. Let's take him in for a checkup. And like, this is when we get to learn that Dr. Wife is one of the worst doctors ever. Because during this routine checkup where he's catatonically unresponsive for most of it, and the one thing that he says twice in a row, and she goes, well, his vitals are just fine. Oh, so good. I don't know what the problem is, as if it's not like clearly a psychological issue. I'm going to get him in for a CT scan in a week. How about send him to a therapist?
She doesn't even give him an Advil.
No, nothing. Your blood pressure's great? Cool. Go the fuck home. I want it to be known that this guy's son, by the way, has an original Nintendo DS.
Yeah, he does.
I bet you...
The flip one.
I can almost guarantee you that there's a generation of kids alive who don't know what that is.
I promise you.
You know?
Unfortunately, their Game Boys are Switches.
Fucking love that stylus.
Oh, I never had that one. I only had the one that flipped open without the second screen.
I don't remember. I think I went straight from just the square Game Boy Advance flip up.
Yeah, that's the one.
And I skipped right over everything in between right to the Switch. I didn't give a fuck about Nintendo at that point.
Oh yeah, no. I had color. I had the long purple one.
Obviously color and advanced color, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the long purple one's basically a Switch.
Yeah, with a much smaller screen.
And then I got the flip up one. I think I still have that somewhere.
Did you ever get the little light attachment so that you could play at night? Fuck.
I had the curly light. I had the light that clipped on the top. I had the magnifying glass and speakers.
Amazing.
And then I had the
You're decked out.
I had the extra part on the bottom that was a rumble pack and a joystick.
You fucking treat this DS like people from Rhode Island treat their cars.
Oh yeah. Oh,
it's modded.
You should have seen. It was like more machine than it was Game Boy.
It was like fucking the Vape God video that we did where you just cobble together some shit from Home Hardware.
Exactly that. You could tell that there was a Game Boy underneath all of the parts.
This was a Game Boy once. Now it's a monster.
Now it's a Game Man. Game Man.
Amazing. Nintendo, you're missing out by not calling something a Game Man. You just go to Switch.
You really got to enunciate. You really got to enunciate the M.
Yeah. Man. Also, this guy's wife is poor man's Amy Adams.
Sure. I don't know.
I don't go back and look at her face. And be like,
I refuse.
She looks like Amy Adams if she started chain smoking at age 14.
Well, it's a small town, man. What's an Amy Adams to do?
There's nothing else to do there.
So she sends Bill home.
Yeah.
And Bill's
with his innocent wife and son. Well, he's not all right.
Well, no, but he's got to get that thresher working.
Dude, anyone who is operating a wheat thresher in the dead of night is either a murderer or they're a huge fan of Goosebumps.
I pictured him in the thresher just like with a little TV like bah, 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 bah. But he's just like, oh fuck yeah, haunted mask? Hell yeah.
There's that one episode where it's like the scarecrow walks at midnight, right?
Oh,
and the scarecrows come alive and then they get all threshed up because they're made of dirty corn leaves. That's what you do to those.
I don't remember that episode. I remember like how I got my shrunken head.
I always remember that one because it's another example of what I hate, which is like I'm trying to convince everyone around me that something fucked up's going on, and they're not going to find out until they're dying in a ditch.
Well, that's every horror movie, man.
Sometimes.
That's been a great deal of the films we've done here.
Not this one. This one, it took no convincing. This one, shit just goes down.
Yeah, later in the film, Dr. Good Cop, wife, doctor, cop, sheriff, husband takes very little convincing.
Yeah. Well, she's a fucking doctor. She should understand things.
No, sorry, I got mixed up. I said doctor too many times. I tried to even it out by saying sheriff in there. I was talking about the sheriff. So yeah, but Bill's threshing away, and he's just running the thresher in the shed. What's the big fucking deal?
That's weird. That's fucking weird as shit. You're not threshing at night.
Well, no, he's in the shed too. You don't need to even run the thresher part in the shed. There's nothing to thresh.
Exactly. So why is it on? Naturally, this guy's wife is going to just stand right in front of these whirling blades in order to get his attention.
Like a true woman of the farm. Just like no fear. Just this big machine that would make her ribbons.
It's a wind turbine with spikes on it.
And she's like, hey, stop it.
Yeah, I'm convinced.
It's too late for this threshing.
Yeah.
But
how do you get out there without either her or their son noticing is the question.
Hey man, it's a small town. Some people just go where the wind takes them. So she climbs up in the thresher, turns it off because he's not in it.
Yeah, turns out he's nowhere to be found and seen put together. I'm really happy I did that.
Well, there is sound.
There is.
And it's the child screaming.
Mm-hmm. Let me run an entire fucking field acre back to the house.
Yeah.
Like, in that time, the kid's dead.
For sure he is.
But he's not in this movie.
Well...
Until later. All I'm saying is if you hear your child scream from the house and you have to walk half a kilometer to get to it, probably don't even bother walking because he's dead by the time you get there.
Yeah, if your house is in the distance, you're fucked.
Yeah.
If you can't throw a rock and hit your house, your kid's dead.
Yeah. You might as well not run.
Yeah, you might as well actually go in the other direction.
Yep.
I heard my child screaming. I gave it 3 minutes, and I think he might be dead. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Peace.
Took me long time to walk up to the porch, and I figured, well, I don't hear no more screaming, so I took off.
Yeah.
It's Iowa.
And that's the one person who lives in this whole town. The person who fucked right off the second things got weird. So, she fucking does get to the house, and she finds son. And the problem is, well, father.
Yeah.
Father has a knife.
Oh, yeah. She gets startled by her child tapping her on the shoulder, as you do when the tiniest hand in the world touches you.
Yep.
And then she hustles him into a closet and hides him behind some coats.
Here's what we do. So there's a man in the house with a knife, and he is not running around. He's only walking. Let's get into a place that we can't get out of.
Yeah. Let's really get ourselves as clustered together as possible so he really doesn't need to swing that arm as many times.
No.
I want to make this easy.
I want to make it, as easy as possible for my assailant.
And boy, oh boy, do they make it simple for him.
Yeah, let me tell you. She's hiding in the closet, and she fucking looks through the keyhole because this is a farmhouse, and the keyholes are big enough to fit your eye in. And she gets greeted by just a dirty red eye on the other side.
Oh my god.
Here's my problem. Fuck all keyhole shots in every movie.
Yeah.
Because that means that somebody had to bend down to look through the keyhole.
Well.
And in this movie, you know what you don't see? Him crouch at all. He's standing up straight, then you see the fucking jump scare eye in the keyhole, and then he's standing up straight.
Well, you know what else, Jay?
So either he's a midget, or that was entirely in service of the jump scare.
Well, it was, because she also watches him under the crack of the door walk away and down the hallway.
Yeah, and there's no sound of him walking back to put his fucking whole face in the keyhole either.
Nope, just boom, eye in the key.
Eye of the tiger cover.
Yeah. So
thrill of the fight.
So he uses that keyhole with a key.
Yeah, to lock that door from the outside. Didn't know closets generally needed to be locked.
Well, they do.
Why you got a locking mechanism on your closet door?
Well, back in the day, you had to keep people somewhere.
Oh, I forgot. It's Iowa.
Whether they were unsavory or just, a long time ago, they had different ways of dealing with, just the insanity.
Misbehavior.
Sure, misbehavior.
Yeah.
Misbehavior of the brain.
Yeah.
Little.
You went to the mentally ill.
I did.
I went to slavery.
Ah, yes. And I went to, this is where we keep Charlotte. She's not well. Yeah,
I went to.
It smells. That's
this is where we keep Charlotte. She tried to leave.
Well, farmhouses had a multi-use room, I guess.
Yeah, they did.
So he locks the door because guess what? He's a genius.
Yeah, he is.
He just saved himself so much work.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to kill somebody with a knife?
Wow.
Dude, that's a workout.
Yeah, especially when they don't want to be killed.
Cancel your gym membership.
They're not very welcoming to this to the whole murder thing.
No, most people don't like that.
No. And here we are.
Instead, he's like, you know what? Fuck all this. Burn it. And he torches the whole house.
He pours gasoline all over the place, and then he lights a match and holds it there. I don't know how long he holds it there for, but the match...
Too goddamn long.
Oh, yeah, and then he throws it down, and it's the loudest fire I have ever heard.
It is very loud fire. I'd like to think it's because it's a farmhouse and all the fucking wood is dirty and old and creaky.
But where's the jet engine? What part does the jet engine fire up? Because that's what it sounds like.
He drove the wheat thresher over. It's just behind him. That's
all right.
it.
I'll give you that.
No, don't. It was bullshit.
As he's holding the match, you can hear his wife shouting upstairs, and you know that this guy's gonna be in trouble because she full names him.
Yeah.
She calls Bill William.
Yeah, it's fucking William now, isn't it?
William, don't you burn us alive. I smell that gasoline, mister. William. If you throw that match down, you're sleeping on the couch that's burnt to death tonight. William.
You're sleeping on the wireframe of the couch.
William, my skin's melting. William, your boy is dead. So the cop gets a call in the middle of the night to come on over to the William household, where they find Will. Like the cop on the scene's like, yeah, we found him mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Just taking care of his greenery as his family melts.
Well, upkeep is important. Now he's got no one else to do it.
Right. All right.
So he better get on that shit.
He's also saving a lot of allowance money, I guess.
Yeah.
Doing it himself.
The kid already has a DS. You know, he's obviously spoiled.
Oh, he's rolling in it.
DS, that cost me like half of my corn.
Like it's a big yard too, so obviously this kid's put a lot of hours into it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so they just find him mowing the lawn because he's crazy, Jay.
Yeah.
He burned his family and now he's mowing the lawn.
Whistling on the back of a pickup truck at any point makes you crazy. That means that you're crazy if you're doing that.
Isn't that how House of Wax ends? The guy like whistles while he's sitting on the back of his truck.
Oh, my exact point proven?
Oopsies.
I'm fine with that.
All right. Well, so family's toast. We got a toast family.
So for some reason, when Sheriff shows up, he brings fucking Dr. Wife. And now I don't know why. Once again, because she's a goddamn helicopter wife and can't be... she's got separation anxiety like an adopted dog. So she's got to be everywhere he is at all times.
Apparently.
Unless she's doctoring. So she treats the fact that Bill kills his family like it was her family that he killed. And she breaks down into horrible sobs.
And she, at some point... I don't know where she gets her badge from, but she starts like being like, "What did you do?" Like she's
interrogating the fucking criminal. Yeah,
like you're in a crime scene. This is an active crime scene,
and you're a civilian.
I can hear the screams still.
They're a little garbled from the throat melting, but I can hear them.
Maybe you should focus on doctoring those bodies.
Yeah. Also, like, keep your empathy in check. If every time somebody dies in this town, you're having a fucking emotional breakdown, you're not going to be the greatest doctor.
You can't know everybody in town.
That also means that you like just take every death personally. Like, oh, if only I was there to administer salves.
Yeah, if I could have done the exact same thing they did, only maybe it would have been different because I'm a doctor.
I sure wish I had been a better doctor while I was inspecting Bill.
God, if only we had moved to a bigger city where I wasn't the only doctor in town.
And my fucking assistant is 17.
So we cut to folks in a swamp finding a parachute attached to a dead parachuter.
Matt, I'm looking to cast this movie. This is going to be the same as my misery rant, but
okay.
I'm looking to cast this movie, The Crazies. Can you find me 3 of the hillbilliest fucking people in the entirety of Los Angeles, California? Matter of fact, go a couple states over and then find hillbillies there and ask them where the hillbillies are.
Oh, for sure. I'll go into a swamp knee deep and just jam my hand into a hole in the water until I
pull one out of it.
Yeah, just pull a hillbilly out up to my elbow
like a fucking catfish.
Jesus. Yeah. No, they.
So out of place because you got Timothy Oliphant as the sheriff, who's like a fucking super clean cut guy. You got Russell, the deputy, who, like, despite his long hair, is still pretty clean cut. Doctor. Everybody in this town, with the exception of the people who get sick at the beginning, is like put together. And then you have these dirty fucking woods rednecks that end up murdering people. Like, who? Isn't it your job to be aware of them?
Oh, he's aware.
Sheriff, he's aware that they hunt illegally. That's it. Not aware of the fact that they really like shaving mohawks into each other's heads and talking about how much they don't like the coloreds.
Well, he becomes aware of it later. He's made privy to all of this. But they picked some fucking real
Holy
hicks.
fuck, dude.
Some real crackers
Even for
here.
small town Iowa, these are hillbillies.
Oh, yeah. They probably brought their own fucking garters or waist. What do you call those? The
I know what you mean. I don't know what they're called.
The rubber
either.
boots that go up to your nipples.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Smotheralls, I believe they're called. No, I have no idea.
Oh my god.
I know exactly. I wish I could fucking think of the word. I can't.
Either way, they brought their own.
Yeah. Waiters, I guess.
Yep. And so they find a dead body in a swamp.
Yeah. They don't even poke it with a stick, which is so un-redneck.
I know. They just pull it up and like, oh, waterlogged.
Gross.
Well, let's fuck it. They don't they don't do that, but they might.
His pretty mouth was wide open.
You really can't put it past these guys.
No. Ugh. How did the pilot die?
I don't know.
No, you don't get to know that.
Gravity.
He had a parachute. It was open.
From altitude sickness.
He got the reverse bends because he came down too fast.
He got unbent.
How did only one person in the entire town hear that giant plane crash?
Yeah.
These hillbillies are out here all fucking day hunting illegally. Like, this is fucking... The plane that ends up submerged in the bog, which is like the largest bog in all of Iowa because it can fit 90% of a plane in it.
It's huge.
It's like a mile and a half. The place is called Ogden Marsh. That marsh is right there.
It's the whole thing is the marsh.
It's beside town.
Yeah.
All right? So how did nobody hear that fucking plane crash?
Well, like, one person did, and they immediately are like, yeah, we disregarded that phone call because he's crazy, right? That's the rule of thumb. This guy's a fucking lunatic.
They say he's full of shit. It's like, okay, but like, what if he called in a tip about a kidnapping he witnessed? I just saw somebody take a little kid off the street. You're full of shit.
Just like that explosion, eh? You fuck.
That's that plane crash all over again, isn't it? Why don't you go drink some more, fuckhead?
Oh my god. So is this where they find the plane, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we're right on top of it. It's sticking out of the water. The plane.
Oh my god.
The plane wing is out of the water. How do you not know?
Not only is just the wing out of the water, also two massive propellers, larger than the boat that they're using to find the plane. The reason why nobody saw that was so that they could, in the script, write that conversational scene between David and Russell where he goes, we skipped over one of the best parts of the movie.
Sorry, my bad.
Which is this guy who called in the tip about the explosion and crash that he heard is the one piloting the boat. I don't know if piloting is the right word to use because it's not an airplane, but that's the word I'm using, so fuck it. And he's being mouthy to the only two people with authoritative positions in the entire town, which is a mistake because they already think you're a bullshitter. Like, how hard would it be for them to be like, you know what, just cuz we're gonna put you in jail for the night? It's a small town. They make the fucking rules.
He was drunk.
Give me your finger. So anyway, he's like, if you don't keep your mouth shut, I'm just gonna push you over the boat, which is something a small town sheriff can say to a civilian.
Oh yeah, that's a harmless threat.
And then the guy's like, "Are you sure you're not gonna shoot me?" And then the sheriff looks back and goes, like in his head with his eyes, you could tell that in his brain he's like, "I might."
He's looking for a reason.
But he just says, "Cut the engine," and then it's like, "Oh, we found the plane. It was a big plane." Oh, how do you know? Because we're on top of it. That's why that scene had to happen that way. So that he could say that, and then the audience goes, "Oh!"
And they zoom out, and
boy, plane.
Is it ever a huge fucking plane?
A huge fucking plane that would have been visible for all three of them because they were all looking in the direction of where the plane was sticking up out of the water.
They're adjacent to the propellers.
They're 10 feet away from those things.
Turn your heads, idiots.
This is probably the first time you've seen a plane up close since a distant relative died.
Like, that's the weirdest fucking alligator I've ever seen. Just sticking up out of the water all propeller-like like that?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that about?
I hate when alligators look like an airplane wing.
Motherfuckers. So
we do that again, zoom out to the satellite image, and then on the screen it says initiate containment protocol. Here's my problem. You'd think once the report came in to the military and the government that they lost a plane containing and transporting biological weaponry, a weaponized virus, you'd think they would initiate the containment protocol then, not when 3 hicks find the plane.
You would think.
But here we are.
So it becomes a big thing where they're like, oh, the water. Which way does the water flow through town?
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me your drinking water comes from the marsh?
Yes.
Your town's already ruined.
It's a series of not at all irrigated rivers, and then it goes to the tower, and then it gets treated that way. It's got a treatment plant. Every fucking small town's a water treatment plant, and they got to get it from a natural source. It's stupid.
Anytime I move to a small town, I'm going to be like, where's the water come from? The marsh? Okay.
Bottled. It's bottled for me.
I'm not buying this house.
Every time you go to a restaurant after that, could I just have a glass of water? Hang on, wait a second. Where's that from? Is it tap? All right. I'll have literally anything else.
Am I going to be sipping something that frogs fuck and jizz in? I'm good. I don't care how much ice is in it. I don't need it.
You know, they tell you to be careful of the water in Mexico. I didn't know that was a domestic issue. Anyway, yeah, the U.S. government definitely doesn't try to recover downed aircraft on native soil until some yokels find it in the woods. Now, we need to find out where the water comes from, so we go to the fucking whatever, the what's his name, the town planner. I don't care what his name is, but he's a town planner.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know why he's the one who knows. That's a different organization entirely. But we find out that the water needs to be shut off. So let's go to the mayor's house where he's swimming in it. He's the only mayor and he's the only person in town with a pool.
Oh, he's got to be the mayor.
He must be the.
He might as well have had a monocle.
He's fat and dirty and looks like a cigar fits real nice in his mouth.
Oh yeah, he like took his monocle off to jump in the pool.
Yeah, his monocle and his top hat is hung up inside nicely.
He's like Boss Hogg. He looks
he's
a Boss Hogg type character.
Oh my god. Anyway, he's stuffy. Apparently, a horrible contagion that turns you into a murderous maniac isn't reason enough to turn the water off to the town.
What?
Because of the corn.
Yeah, it's planting season, so those big old spritzers got to run in the field.
I'm not gonna shut off the water just because of your hunch. Here's the thing, though. If I'm right, all of that you're planting and then now watering with that dirty water that has the disease in it. Now it has the disease.
Mm-hmm.
So harvest season is canceled regardless.
You would think.
You know?
But not if the mayor's got anything to do with it. He's going to curl his mustache and rub his hands together evilly.
He basically, he just like sits down in the fucking chair beside the pool and basically does that. I gotta go back to being the rich mayor.
So the sheriff...
Get out of my sight.
The sheriff turns it off anyway. He doesn't give a shit.
No, he fucking doesn't. It's a butterfly gate valve and he quarter turns it. I'm a plumber. That doesn't close shit. Water is still flowing, just less of it.
Wow.
And then he pops the handle off with bolt cutters, a wild misuse of tools. And then that doesn't even matter because the top nut can still be turned. You just need a pipe wrench. So anybody can turn that water on and off all they want. You just leave the handle on. How about this? Lock the door. Lock the door to the mechanical room by the water tower.
How about just put shit on the part that people have to touch? Nobody's gonna wanna.
I got mad. I got trade mad.
That's
my job.
You just said a bunch of shit, and I'm just listening.
I don't like when my profession is represented poorly in movies, and it happens so fucking often. Oh, dude,
so rough. It's so rough.
We need to design a dirty, gross basement for the serial killer to bring his victims into. What can we put on the walls? Just a spider web of copper pipe. Let's just put a bunch of dirty copper and black iron pipe on the walls that goes nowhere and comes from nowhere. That'll fool them.
Makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
I get it. I get the look you're going for.
Pissed.
This is what you get for learning, Jay. If you didn't learn, you'd be blissfully ignorant.
Not to mention, he turns the water off, but the tower is still full the fuck of water. And people are still going to use that water because it flows down and out. Whoops.
Well, look. This movie tried.
Pissed.
So we find out that Rory's house is the first house in line for, like, the water supply. Mm-hmm. That's that.
It is.
There's your answer right there.
The implication being, people are getting sick as it flows toward them, but everybody gets sick at once in this movie.
Well, he was like the first one.
He was the first one, and then it happens all of a sudden to everyone else.
Well, that's how it happens, man.
Okay. I'm not a toxicologist, so I have no idea.
He was just the first one to wander onto a baseball field with a shotgun.
Yeah, everybody else was just sick at home like they should have been.
We go back to the sheriff's station, and Bill is fucking ill.
Ill Bill is a literal rapper's name.
Oh God,
Necro and Ill Bill.
Is he veiny and screaming? Is this the same Bill?
That ill Bill is a portly gentleman. This Bill is quite svelte. If you Bill. Oh my God.
So he's just screaming his head off, just doing his thing.
Now, here's the thing, right? The guy's not breathing and he's on the ground, so the deputy goes to unlock the cell, and then for some reason the sheriff sneaks up on him and taps him on the shoulder. Like, you come back and you don't announce your fucking presence. You had no reason to scare your deputy.
All right. Okay. So there's 3 things that happen in this movie more than once, and getting tapped on the shoulder and startled is one of them.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit.
Would you like to know the other 2?
Yeah.
Being far away and hearing a scream that you have to go get to.
Yep.
And then also the last minute being saved by a bullet through a window.
Yep.
That happens at least 3 times.
Not only does it happen at least 3 times, fucking Russell goes, "That happened 3 times." Right in the movie.
Yep. Just pointing it out.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Point out your fucking 3 times Deus Ex. This is now, again, this is the second movie in a row where that's happened.
So no phone service, and there's nobody around but this lady who's riding an old-timey bike and singing a Jesus song.
Adult lady riding a child's bike singing a Jesus song, and presumably 2 men in a dark SUV that's blacked out taking pictures of that.
Yeah.
So fucking David, the sheriff, sees that and he starts running toward that vehicle, which, not what to do when you see a blacked out SUV in your small town, even in a city. If you see that and they're not even like parked in a spot, they're just in an intersection. Hey man, stay away from that shit.
Yeah.
There's at least guns in there.
Well, they peel out
which is the least conspicuous way to leave anything ever.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I would too if some guy just started running at me.
Yeah.
But this is not going to end well.
Given what they know, 100% peel out. With that being said, if you're trying to keep a low profile, probably don't do donuts in the street when nobody else is around.
Yeah. Yeah. So he chases them and then he like runs into the funeral home, which I guess was just there. So he
heard a noise in it.
And there's a bunch of crispy boys on the table.
There's a
lot of burnt French fries on the table there.
Too many meals got sent back to the kitchen. This is where I start to notice the nebulous nature of this virus. And I'm hoping that you can provide some insight.
Okay.
Chances are you can't because there isn't any. But what originally the virus presents as, so Bill sets fire to his house and kills his wife and son. Another guy brings a shotgun onto a baseball diamond and I assume was intending to shoot everybody he saw. Neither of those 2 spoke. All they did was yell. One of them. Mm-hmm. Now, though, David's in the coroner's office or whatever, mortuary, and he pulls a sheet back, and the Reverend, who I think is Tony Todd, or at least it looks like fucking Tony Todd.
I don't know who that is.
Candyman?
Okay.
The black guy that's in every horror movie for 5 seconds.
Sure.
You know? He's got his eyes and mouth stitched shut, but he's still alive. So the virus also makes you want to torture people before you kill them, or not even kill them. And then later on in the movie, the people who are infected start talking to each other. So what the fuck? What am I watching? What is this virus?
I want to say, like, it doesn't make you want to torture, but it does make you do crazy shit.
Sure. All right.
Why the priest let him sew his eyes and mouth shut and then just laid there?
Given that he's much larger and younger.
And not sick.
Yeah.
So he starts just peeling back sheets. Mm-hmm. Just like, oh, dead body. Priest?
A live body?
Ooh. Let me just free your mouth. Let me get your lips free so you can whisper to me.
Yeah, whisper to me behind you, despite the fact that your fucking eyes are sewn shut. So how did you see that?
His one eye is like peeled wide open.
Yeah. All right. So then Sheriff gets attacked by a bone saw. Turns out the coroner is infected with this dirty crazy virus. And this is a very dumb scene for me. He gets hit in the head, so he falls down, and then it's bone saw time. He prevents that from happening. I hear a snoring cat. It made me laugh in my head. This is, I believe, the first time that the deputy saves the sheriff's life, but he doesn't really do that because the sheriff deals with the coroner by putting the bone saw into him instead. And then the bone saw gets dropped on the ground. And now, for those at home, this bone saw is like a corded grinder. It's just like a fucking electrically powered wheel that spins super fast. So it's skipping along the ground toward the sheriff's dick and balls and ass. And instead of moving to one side or the other, or kicking the tool out of the way, this turns into a very tense scene where you're supposed to be worried that he's going to get shaved. And so he fucking just scrambles backwards until he hits a wall. And then the deputy shows up, and the way that he saves the sheriff's life is by putting his foot on the cord.
Hey.
Sick.
Last moment. This is right at the very last minute. He couldn't have done that a little sooner.
Couldn't have done that any sooner. Also, the sheriff really didn't give a fuck whether or not he gets cut up by this thing because he tried not at all to avoid it.
Yeah, it was almost like he was just like, oh, I don't want to get a vasectomy. Just
I'm already
kidding.
Circumcised.
Oh no, I can't have another kid. What with my scrotum all askew like this?
Askew. My scrotum is like an abstract painting.
When this morgue operator attacks him with the saw, he's on the ground. He pulls the cord, and what did this guy just have it wrapped around him because it just tightens up and he saws himself?
He must have. Also, that means that you were within reach of the cord. Mm-hmm. You could have unplugged it your goddamn self.
You could have very well.
Didn't.
No.
Because we need to manufacture a tense scene for the movie.
Yeah, somebody's going to get their dick cut.
There are so many scenes in this movie that are just self-serving. Like, we wrote this in for its own reason.
Well, it's you're going to remember. You're going to remember the scene. You remembered it?
I did. I remembered it because it pissed me off. Is that really the reason that they want?
I think, I don't know. There's also one of the corpses gets disrespected a little bit with the saw. In the struggle.
Briefly.
Yeah. So there's that scene. That whole scene just happened.
Yeah. So then, cut right to David, the sheriff, trying to get his fucking wife out of town. And apparently he's not being very descriptive in his storytelling, because if I heard literally anything that had happened to him that day, I'd be like, yeah, let's go. She's like, nah, I have to stay. I'm their doctor.
Yeah, these people, they might want my help. No.
No.
These are not friendly folk.
I've met a lot of them. None of them asked me for anything.
Yeah, these people are beyond your help, actually.
That's true. You know, sometimes you gotta know when to quit.
Yeah, it's at this point it is just time to cut town and run.
Also, Judy, I was just outside. The only people I saw were either insane or tried to kill me. Your doctoring is literally as useful as telling me a bedtime story.
Yeah, so much you did for Bill. Look at him.
Right? You're such a good doctor. Bill killed his family.
Your doctoring is so good. Bill? Oh, his blood flow is great. He's so vascular and upset.
Dude. His fucking vitals, man.
Oh, good God. Hold on. I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is like another one of those scenes where they're like, oh, somebody's in the shed. Or no, she's like,
someone's outside.
Yeah.
So she's not even looking out the window in the scene. Where David goes to look out the window, completely different area of the room from where she was looking when she said that.
So David goes and he looks in the shed.
Yeah.
And this is where we get the wife screaming his name from the farmhouse. And he has...
scramble back.
Yep. Nah, just kidding. It's, I don't know, the army or the government or some
military body.
People in gas masks with guns wearing black camouflage helmets.
Really... So he fucking, as he leaves the shed, he gets grabbed by two of them. One of them, while they're both holding him upright, says, "Get on the ground." Are these George Floyd's killers?
Easy.
Because they're telling him to do a thing and then promptly preventing him from complying.
Oh,
this is why Stop Resisting is a meme.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
Okay?
Yeah. Why are you punching yourself? Why are you punching yourself? It's the same thing.
Yeah, it is. So they slap him down on a bus. Just by happenstance, the deputy is also on this bus, despite there being 20 school buses here. Fine.
Sure.
Pretty sure you shouldn't call your captors bastards and fuckers within earshot of them when they are carrying an AR-15. Might give them a bad attitude about you.
It might. You would hope that they've heard it enough today that they're just desensitized to it.
Yeah, I guess. Apparently the quarantine protocol here is to take pictures of podunks until a sufficient number of them die. Because what were you doing the whole time up until now? We just now have erected the Hurricane Katrina tents on the baseball diamond. And then also, why are we transporting them in school buses? They clearly brought in school buses, like the military did, in order to transfer these people into the quarantine zone. Why are we using school buses? There's more school buses than have ever been kids in this town.
Well, I mean, there's school districts outside. They've got to bring it all. Later, they're just moving them in, like, vehicles they haul, like, cows in.
Yeah, cows, pigs, and chickens in cages.
Yeah, they have those vehicles to haul them in, which seems worse, to be honest.
Who made that decision? It's like, I don't care anymore.
We're out of buses.
All right, we gotta make some cuts to the budget here.
This is gonna change your mind about owning horses and animals. Get in there, you small town fucks.
Amazing. 10 kids in Ogden Marsh, and there's like one bus for every kid in Ogden Marsh.
It's fucking living. They're just living it up with their private bus systems.
So this is our system of quarantine. We're gonna do the COVID temperature scanner on your forehead, and then if your blood pressure is high for any reason, like say stress, we're gonna put you in a different place. We're gonna seatbelt you down to a gurney.
Yeah, just calm down.
Yeah, definitely this is not at all a situation that would cause people some anxiety.
It's gonna get a whole lot worse for you.
At no point during this booking process did David or Judy mention the fact that Judy is pregnant. Judy says, "I'm pregnant," when it's already too late to say that information.
Yeah, she says it when you would be lying about it. The people who would lie to get out of the situation would be saying it.
It would have been a good idea to say it while they're doing the screening, just so you know my wife's pregnant, so it might fuck your test up.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, we're just gonna leave that for ourselves.
Let's get her on a gurney.
Until she dies.
Get her in the nutty school for diseases.
The nutty sick kids school.
Yeah, so they strap her down. They take her away. They take away the deputy, which bad. It's already like that's bad news for everybody.
You know he's sick. You know he's sick because they take him away.
Yeah, that's your first warning right there.
Later on, there's all this fucking conversation about whether or not he's sick. Guess what? He fucking is.
He tested sick for sick. He's sick. So they get all they load the wife up on a gurney and take her into this room with all these chuckleheads who are just fucking...
They literally are, as two people just laughing while being awake on their back.
Yeah, just insane people just laughing at each other back and forth.
Why did Princess Diana cross the road? She forgot to wear a seatbelt.
Jesus Christ.
You know? We just missed the part in the scene where they told a funny joke. This is my point.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, I get it. I'm glad we missed that part, because the way they're laughing, that joke definitely had racist overtones.
Yeah. Or had to do with a child somehow.
There's also a scene like this fucking... I don't like the wife.
No.
I've had enough of Dr. Wife here.
She's not likable.
Well, she's like, oh, these guys had a nosebleed. Cerebral hemorrhaging must be a virus. All right. I'm a doctor.
Good doctoring.
I went to school. I know.
My coworker Tim has one of his it's not really a pet peeve, as George Carlin said. It's more like a psychotic hatred for people who say it's science when they're trying to explain something they know nothing about. Like, why are there clouds in the sky? It's science, and authoritatively, that's just the answer. Same thing with this fucking doctor. Oh, I know more words that are medical than you, so I'm just going to say them, and you'll probably believe me.
Oh, yeah, I spoke first, so... did you speak first? I don't think so. I said it first.
That's the rules.
So yeah, his wife's running a little hot. She goes to the Chucklehead ward, and
David tries to save her, but he gets knocked out by a gun butt.
Yeah, he's somehow able to bash by 4 or 5 guys before somebody finally subdues him.
Worst military.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even we don't even know if these are military. These probably just a bunch of dudes.
They just happen to have camo lying around.
And so she's being carted down this hallway. It's obviously a school because there's lockers, and you see people just bashing their heads on glass. Mm-hmm. Why are those people not chained down?
No, we're gonna seatbelt the chick who's caused us no trouble at all. But what the people who are clearly a problem for everybody that they get near, they're free range.
Yeah, we locked the door there. They're fine.
It's all good.
As long as they don't break the wire mesh in the middle of the glass on that door, we're good.
Which they clearly don't give a fuck about their well-being, so they're gonna get through that.
Oh,
have you not seen a zombie movie ever?
Oh my god, yeah, they just bash and bash until they get through.
Yeah. That's why fucking World War Z even existed. So, while this doctor is strapped down to this gurney, we realize that Becca is also in this room, conveniently.
Right. Oh, so convenient.
15 classrooms in the high school. All the characters that we've been introduced to, though, are always in the same place.
It's a very small town, small world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Literally everybody in this town can fit into one room. While that's happening, David wakes up in the back of a horse truck and realizes he's been carted off to a gas station, which is named Quick Phil's. Love that name.
That's the best name.
Oh my god.
I didn't even see how it was spelt, but I can...
Phil as in the name Phil.
Oh.
Quick Phil's.
Yes.
Dude. Every 7-Eleven needs to change the name to fucking Quick Phil's. I don't care.
Yeah.
And
I agree. I damn near fell out of my chair. That was so... I agreed so much.
That's vigorous agreement. He gets off and we run into this guy Kevin, and it turns out they share something in common, that being both of their wives were taken by the army.
Oh yes, good old Kevin.
Kevin, turns out, really wanted an excuse to leave his wife behind for dead.
I don't think he even flinched.
No,
I think they pulled her off him, and he just started running faster.
He woke up on that fucking truck, looked around, didn't see his wife, and went, all right.
No, where are we going?
And then fucking David goes, well, I have to go back for my wife. It's my fucking wife, obviously. And he goes, I wouldn't waste my time on a fool's errand.
Oh, yeah, he calls it a fool's errand.
Oh, disrespectful.
I mean, your wife isn't a fool's errand, but it's, it's fucked. It's pretty fucked that you're doing that.
Yeah, he tries to back off the fact that he said it was a waste of time, but he doesn't really go, yeah, sorry, that's not what I meant. It's more so, that's what I meant. I should probably just not have said it.
Yeah, let me say it louder to you.
So I'm surprised he didn't get punched dead in the face. Mm-hmm. And then David disappears like a goddamn fucking cartoon. When a truck goes by, he just hops on it.
Yeah.
He just hops on it silently and invisibly. Yeah. Like a ninja in the night. Like Assassin's Creed.
He also delivers the line, "Don't ask me why I can't leave without my wife, and I won't ask you how you can leave without yours."
You don't need to ask. It's because he hates her. It's because he burns the stake every time. Or she does, rather, is what I meant.
Wife? What wife?
Given the size of the base, here's the thing. While that's happening, right, conveniently again, Dr. Wife has been placed on a gurney next to a window where she can see a guy plow through the quarantine fence, chain link fence, 10-foot chain link fence, because that's not climbable, with a pickup truck and release everyone.
Yeah, it takes all of one wave of nutso people just for the government to go, we're out of here.
Yeah, and that... we don't get to know whether or not that person was infected, the person in the truck. Over the radio, all they say is, it's a civilian. We're pulling out. So, yeah, just overwhelmed, despite the fact that the military has way more power and resources than a very small town in Iowa. We're done. Fuck it.
There's 30 to 40 people. Oh, well, get the helicopters.
You know?
Get the helicopters.
Given the size of this base and the size of the town, there's no way that, first of all, the military is directing people at this quick fills, giving them green wristbands, ostensibly so that they could be identified to be removed from the town.
It's like they're catch and releasing like wild animals and tagging them.
Yes. Everybody is just dolphins at this point. So nobody over there got word of the commotion happening. None of those military people were on the walkie-talkie. Oh, shit, there's a breach. We better get the fuck out of here. Everybody else is. So, in David's mind, right, he's not aware of what's going on at the school where his wife is. He just goes back and figures, I got enough time to go all the way to the sheriff's office and get my gun.
There's time.
Apparently.
Well, yeah, he's got all the time in the world. It's a movie. Don't worry. It's gonna be convenient. It's gonna be convenient. What? Don't trust me. I'm gonna go get my gun. It's gonna be solid.
Now that we've had this conversation so far, I may have to adjust my rating. I'm realizing that a lot of things in this movie happen out of convenience for the movie. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I'll give you a secret.
Yeah.
I always make my rating up on the fly based on our conversation. So I'm still on the fence about this film.
That's fine. I might have to start doing that. So Judy and Becca are in the fucking thing trying to... Oh, by the way, the deputy meets the sheriff, again, conveniently, at the sheriff's office.
Yes, it was quite convenient.
30 seconds that David's there for happened to be the exact same 30 seconds that Russell was there for.
And also, he gets startled by having a gun pointed at him.
Which would startle anyone.
Oh, for sure. For sure it would.
You know?
Absolutely. Stranger in the shadows with a gun? I'm a little startled. Indeed. Like, fuck
So then, cut back to Judy and Becca Judy's trying to calm her down. Impossible. She's a 17-year-old. She's strapped to a bed. This hasn't happened since her stepdad left. So she's gonna be upset. I
don't know what noise to make about that sentence you just said.
And then we hear the sweet sounds of a pitchfork being dragged along the tile floor. That's gonna ruin your terrazzo. That shit's fucking expensive.
Oh,
there's one guy in Ontario that makes terrazzo.
Son of a bitch. And you're shouting him out right here on the podcast?
Yeah. Shout out to the terrazzo dude who unfortunately had his entire fucking factory burned to the ground last year and had to start from scratch.
Damn.
I just know that because trades.
That's the way terrazzo goes, you know? That's the way that terrazzo crumbles.
That shit is so hard. It's like, so his recipes are all like family handed down proprietary recipes that he will not share for how to make rocks inside concrete, essentially.
Interesting.
How to make really shiny rocks in concrete.
Damn. I know the exact floors you're talking about.
Yeah, those are terrazzo.
Damn. And he's just dragging this fucking American Gothic fucking pickaxe down the...
Yeah, dude.
Son of a bitch.
You know how fucking expensive? You know how they have those like metal bars, like it's like a grid pattern?
Yeah.
So like it's terrazzo, it's like individual squares of it. Mm-hmm. It's like $3,000 a piece. And this guy's just wrecking it all.
I can't believe
that's got to be ground down later.
I can't believe they're just letting idiot students just walk on that shit.
And you know what's worse? It's the fucking principal of the school, so he should have some respect.
Oh, it is. It's fucking Bill.
It is. So I don't know if his name is Bill also. But anyway, he's the principal.
Yeah,
I don't remember the principal's name.
Yeah, either way, it's the principal.
Just call him Bill. It's fucking Bill. All right. It's Bill 2.0.
Prince of Bill.
Prince of Bill. Yeah. So yeah, he's so sick of kids that he decides that he wants to prevent one from being born.
Well, I mean, yeah, But yeah.
With a pitchfork.
But yeah. Yeah. He sure does.
He fucking comes into the I don't even know what to call this place.
It's like a grade 7 classroom.
The worst massage parlor I've ever seen.
Is it because of the plastic sheets and the gurneys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really much of a massage room.
No, it's your last massage room.
It looks like it looks like the steam mud house from Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but
it does.
With more plastic sheets, like a Dexter room.
Just as, if not more uncomfortable than the mud sauna. So Principal comes in and he's just pitchforking anybody who fucking breathes or moves.
Oh boy, and like, if you were wondering, like, oh, he's probably just stabbing them once, and that's once and done, like. Mm-hmm.
Because you think 4 spikes into your torso would be enough. Generally, it is.
They have to go all the way through to the other side of the gurney.
Yeah.
That's the magic of what he's doing.
This guy apparently is just so fucking... Apparently, getting infected by a crazy disease gives you retard strength. Because how are you plowing through the bottom of that gurney?
He's dedicated to his craft.
Yeah.
He's dedicated to making sure that everybody's run through. It's got to go all the way through.
8 times.
Good God.
So he spots Becca because she can't keep her fucking mouth shut for a second. Mm-hmm. And Judy goes, well, I can't have that. So while Becca is about to be stabbed, Judy just screams out no, thus drawing attention to herself, and then immediately goes, well, I didn't think that through.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. I'm kind of unhappy with this outcome.
Turns out yelling real loud makes the murderer more interested in me. My bad.
I would have laughed if he would just stabbed her anyway and then moved over to her.
Because that's what he would do.
Yeah,
They're
right?
strapped down. They're not going anywhere. He's not pressed for time.
But he's crazy.
He is.
He's crazy.
He is crazy.
So, yeah, he, instead of stabbing Becca, saunters over to the good doctor. Mm-hmm. And
bad doctor.
And I believe she's like, hey, no, wait, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Please don't. I'm pregnant.
And the look in his eyes says, what about this makes you think I can be reasoned with?
I'm about to pitch your fork.
Like, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
This is what I came here to do.
It's made easy for me.
I don't care that there's one more thing I need to pitchfork inside you. I'm gonna. This is my whole day.
It's 2 birds, 1 pitchfork. Is really what it is.
So yeah, that's about to happen, and then Judy gets fucking saved by a magic bullet.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, a magic bullet
in the nick of time.
In the nick of time, and this, I don't. Oh, I'm so mad about this because yeah, sure, the bullet goes right through him. Behind him are these plastic sheets obscuring, like it's opaque, like you could see through it.
Right.
It's not, or it's translucent.
Yeah.
It's translucent.
Opaque means you can't see through it.
Okay, so
I was gonna let it slide, but that's fine. It's translucent.
It's translucent. So yeah, sure. Maybe you can kind of see what's going on the other side. Mm-hmm.
There's no way you're going to be able to make out the form of a man plunging a pitchfork into your wife.
That, and also, like, he gets shot, and then there's a shot of them walking into the room.
Yeah.
Who shot that bullet?
He shot it from outside in the hallway. So he saw as much as could be seen through that translucent curtain and just decided somebody needed to die on the other side of it.
Just assuming.
Yeah. It could very well have been a man unbuckling his wife from the table.
It could have been.
He had no fucking way of knowing. He's just like, I'm going to take a shot at this, literally.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, he made the right decision.
Good thing.
Finally, a cop is making the right decision here.
When firing his fucking weapon?
Fucking Christ.
She gets saved. And so does Becca. We try to have this sentimental moment where... because obviously Russell got quarantined because he's fucking sick, and you can already tell that, like, he looks like he's getting sick.
He's getting right? He gets pale.
He's getting fucking sick. Apparently though, David is just God, and because he goes, you're not getting sick, you're not sick, and none of us are. That just means that's true now.
He's a better doctor than the doctor.
Apparently, and all it takes is words.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I absolutely, and it's like one of those things. Like, if you believe it, it will come true. Yeah. He's a motivational speaker. You're David, not getting sick. Yeah. And you're not getting sick.
Not only is he the sheriff, he's also Tony Robbins. So they're trying to have this sentimental moment during this conversation.
Are they ever giving it their all?
Because and like Russell's talking about, like, man, I had plans, I had time left. Meanwhile, in the background, this old bitch with dementia asking dead bodies if Peter called. This old woman wandering around a mass grave, asking if she can borrow their phone. Ruined the tone of the scene completely.
That old lady is my favorite part of the whole movie.
Holy shit. Yeah, you're talking about how, like, you're confronting your own mortality in front of your best friend, the only person that you've gotten along with in this small town, probably. Did Peter call?
She's like hunched over a walker, white hair,
holy
like
fuck.
A shawl draped over her, like she's been forgotten by her family.
Yeah, she has so much dementia that she can't tell that people's brains are leaking out of their head.
She's riddled with it. She somehow like
how the fuck are you still standing up by yourself?
She meandered into a mass grave and began asking if Peter called.
You probably have some larger concerns than Peter's phone call.
Well, I mean, her grandson just doesn't call anymore.
Yeah.
This is probably her life. Like, did Peter call?
Yeah, did Peter call for like 15 years.
All that lady needed to hear was, no.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. Oh, okay.
Oh. And then she just sits down on the walker that has the chair on it.
Yeah. And waits for the bus.
And nobody's got the heart to tell her that her bus is never coming.
My seat's at the front. Oh my God, that old lady. Yeah, there's just like this moment, and all you can hear is like, did Peter call?
Like, come on.
Love it. I'm glad that happened.
Talk about death and dying, and then just that.
I am so glad that happened.
They're walking through the burnt town from the beginning of the movie. The first shot that you see of the movie. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, this virus also makes baseball players punch garbage cans and not change out of their uniforms after the game's over.
Bunch of chuckleheads.
Because that's just happening in the alleyway.
Yeah,
they're just punching a garbage can for literally no reason.
They're getting out all their 1980s aggressions.
Oh, God.
It's like the Footloose town where they can't dance, so they just punch dumpsters and laugh.
That's way bleaker than dancing in a factory.
A little bit. It tends to be.
The hillbillies are in town, and as it turns out, they have ignored the sheriff's request to put their weapons away until autumn.
Boys are back in town.
They are, with guns, and they're using them to kill healthy people. Now, these hillbillies, there's two options here, okay? Either they're killing people just for the sake of it, because they're hillbillies, which is what I'm leaning toward, or they defy the logic of the virus and break the movie.
No, I'm gonna say purge. Purge rules.
Okay, that's the only way that this makes sense. Later on, they're clearly infected.
Yeah, well, you fuck around with enough dead bodies, you know.
It's true.
At some point they make mention that this thing is airborne.
Yeah, that's just like a throwaway line that fucking changes nothing in the movie at all.
Yep, not a damn thing. People basically mouth kissing this entire film.
Oh, I'm gonna get into that, aren't I? I sure am.
You better not.
Fucking David keeps insisting that neither him or his wife or Becca are sick, which is typically something somebody does when they're sick and they want nobody to know.
Yeah.
Every zombie movie ever. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Just bleeding from the neck from a bite wound.
Yeah, just a bite wound. I don't know. That guy was fine.
It's all good.
This is a sexual bite wound, not a zombie bite wound.
Sexual bite wound. Then a whole lot of nothing happens for me. We get to see the back of the hillbilly truck, and it's just full of dead bodies.
Yeah, somehow the sheriff spots that this truck is like dripping while the deputy's trying to like go through it. He's like, hey, no, don't go in that truck. There's blood.
Why didn't the deputy see the blood dripping out of the back of the truck when he went right up to it to rifle through it?
How did the sheriff see the blood dripping in the dark from across the street?
Oh, well, the fire is lighting things up. It's illuminating the situation.
Sure. Blood is it's dark. You're not going to see it.
Yeah, it could very well have been dirt from that distance.
So yeah, they hide and these fucking hill folk just gun down some guy and throw him in the back of their truck and take off.
Yeah, they celebrate and they peace. And then the dumbest, well, you know what? That's a lie. One of the dumbest things in the movie happens. Let's go get Becca's fucking big dick hammer having boyfriend.
I don't think that was the plan. I think they were walking back to like their farmhouse and like they're just neighbors or some shit.
Yeah. Let's make a quick stop though.
Yeah, the lights are on. The lights are on. Let's go see.
I don't know what I'm going to do without my stallion of a boyfriend near me.
Yeah, what's his name? Scotty. He's got that wicked arm from tossing balls to his pals.
Yeah, and also banging underage is implied in this film.
Well, I mean, they're all underage. I don't think it. I think there's a loophole there.
No, I just mean there's an implied conversation where these two 17-year-olds fuck each other. You know that they do. Everybody in town knows that they do, and they love it.
They're just like, ha. You go, Becca. You fuck him.
Yeah, get yours.
I'm the old lady on the mower from the beginning. I like to think about teens.
Every time I see them, I wonder, did Peter call?
What is this, the Fault in Your Stars? Did Peter call? The answer, no.
No.
So the plan is they're going to get back to the farmhouse because there's an old cruiser. First of all, the military has booted every car.
They've booted every car. They spike stripped anybody trying to leave town. But I have a dirty old cruiser in my fucking tool shed.
Yeah, so
they couldn't have got to that.
I'm led to believe that the military just fucked this whole town up.
Yeah,
they're the reason the streets are ablaze.
They are.
Yeah. Okay. We're
5 minutes from now, you literally get to see them flamethrower two bodies.
Where are they getting all these boots from?
That's a great question. They needed a separate truck just for fucking boots.
Every vehicle in town is one boot. All right. That's fine. There's also, probably a surplus of boots somewhere.
I want you to know this. You can drive a boot off. You can get behind the wheel of a car and drive until that boot breaks. It's going to ruin the wheel well, but that's it. The car's still drivable. Guess what? It's an emergency and I need to leave.
I'm pretty sure they did that on The Simpsons where they have to go get their car from the World Trade Center.
There's a clip of, I don't know if you know about what the Bad Girls Club is.
No.
It's a reality TV show about young women who are like, have been to jail for like petty crimes and shit. And they all get shoved into a house together in order to turn their life around, which is the exact opposite of what happens all the time, because of course that's what happens.
Of course.
Anyway, one of them, there's a clip of they were holding auditions for the show, and one of the chicks auditioning got her car booted while she was in there, and then she just got in it and drove off anyway. Fucked up the front of her car, but she made it out.
Hey, you save money by having to spend a shitload more money.
Proof positive, though. You can do that.
So we're at Scotty's house.
Yeah.
And guess what? Scotty's got a fucking gun.
He does. It's a scoped rifle that motherfucker has.
Yeah. What's he doing at this close of range with it? Who knows?
Yeah. You could be across your whole property with that thing and make sure that everything's okay first. I'm going to be close enough that David can point his revolver at my temple.
So they're about to leave town. His mom's in the house. They're just getting supplies.
They're just getting some supplies.
They're just getting some supplies. And then all of a sudden, the sheriff's just like, hey, guys, we got to get inside for a second.
Yeah.
Because he hears something.
It looked like he saw something. But then there's no way that he did because he's looking out into the field and then the military guys come out from behind the barn.
Yeah, so what
are you fucking Haley Joel Osment?
Did they just like not, because I'm pretty sure he's like standing right there at the corner. Like how did they not see him?
He's not obscured by the barn for those people either. Like
anyway.
So yeah, we're going to hide in the barn.
Yeah.
Hide right in that barn.
Thank God for the barn hiding because then they avoided getting shot and burnt.
They did.
So they go the G-men. They bust into Scotty's house and pull his mom out, and she's got a hot temperature. And Scotty's like, hey, that's my mom, you guys.
Definitely, the right move is to burst out of a building, flailing your arms and yelling, and running directly toward the people with assault weapons who are here to kill everyone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's reasonable. It's reasonable to think that you're not going to get your fucking head caved in with a bullet.
Which is exactly what happens.
And then all for nothing, his mom runs to his corpse and gets blown away as well.
Yeah. And then it's barbecue time.
They get toasty.
They do.
They get
which
real
is good
crisp.
Because it looked pretty chilly out.
Oh yeah, it's a cold autumn evening. So Then, one solitary soldier. That's all you need to investigate a barn.
Like a huge... You brought 6 guys for the house, but let's just send one of them into the barn.
That's all you need.
That a man just came out of.
Yeah.
A threat. And also, he's 19.
And that... Yeah. Okay. Yes. Good point. I have no fucking idea.
He's fucking young as shit. Because when they pull his gas mask, like he's a kid.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Scotty.
No, the guy that they sent to check out the barn.
Yeah. He was just like
He's a fucking child.
And then they interrogate him, and convince him not to tell him that they're in the barn somehow.
Yeah. They used the word blab. And that's just like, that's a trump card. Once somebody says to you, you're not going to blab, you have no choice. It's like a Uno reverse card.
Oh,
shit.
Gotcha.
You utter the word blab and it's over for you.
Zip.
Yeah.
That's
Zip it, lock it, and put it in your pocket.
Fuck. That's it.
He doesn't
the whole
blab.
scene.
It's cool. Actually,
very nice scene. Very easy.
Important to note.
Oh.
At the end of that scene, as they're leaving the barn, once they're in relative safely because the G-men have left, they stop for a second to bring Becca right up to the charred remains of her fucking boyfriend up close for her to look at.
I forgot.
Hey, you want to see this real close?
Give him a smooch. Just jam her head close.
You really didn't need to do that at all to that child, that teenager. You just gave her more therapy bills.
Have you ever seen a charred body? They're all the same.
That's true. Here's an example. Which one's your boyfriend?
It's hard to tell at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's a little bit over here, a little bit over there. This is the scene where the soldiers they told us to keep our gas masks on because it's airborne, blah, blah.
Well, once again, this is the same thing. Doctor just makes an assumption. The guy goes, they just said leave the gas masks on. And then Dr. Wife later on is like, well, that means it's airborne. Oh, good.
Good doctor.
Really appreciate all of the no education you used to come to that conclusion. Did you do all of that hard-hitting research in your ass?
She sure did. She put all of her education to work right there. So there's more walking, Jay.
Yeah.
Halfway to Mordor. At this point, we're getting there.
Should have just used the Eagles. They get to fucking David and Judy's house, and she runs to the clothesline. And there's this moment where she's clearly stressed out. She's panicking, and she's trying to have some semblance of normalcy. So she's at the clothesline trying to take the towels down, and then David comes over and tries to console her, we're going to be all right. We're going to get out of here. And then she goes, everyone's dead. Here's the thing, right? Can David not do a single fucking thing right in your eyes? What decision could he have made that would have been the right one for you in that moment? Let me come over and be a good husband. No, that sucks.
Everybody's dead. Get out of here.
Nothing
will be right until everybody's not dead.
She's she's trying to convince herself that she's not in this reality. It's a beautiful morning and everything's perfect and we're going to have our son in this house. And then when he tries to buy into it to make her feel better, she's like, actually, this is the reality, David. Everyone's dead.
Everyone. They're all dead.
Okay, well then pick one, bitch.
Make up your mind. You're either going to do the laundry or not.
Oh my God.
We need those towels.
And then despite her knowledge of the reality, she still goes alone into the unborn child's room for literally no reason, other than to get tied to a chair by a crazy person.
Not just a crazy person. It's the family of Rory.
Yes.
The Rorys have come to visit.
Peggy and the byproduct of incest that is their son.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that kid's face? So there's a shot of the doctor just chilling in the baby's room, and the camera kind of pans over, and there's just
she's just standing in the corner,
disheveled old lady grudging it up in the corner.
Waterlogged like the chick from The Ring.
Your hair just greasy and in her face.
Great. Well, yeah, and I realize now that You said wet earlier, and yeah, dude, what is it about this disease that makes you fucking moist?
Just sweaty, man.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers all over again.
It's you got so many veins popping because the whole time you're just like, you're just like trying to push a shit out, and that makes you just sweat.
Oh my fucking god!
It's like that. Oh god, I saw a guy on TikTok, and it was like No Shit September.
Yeah,
and he's like
yeah.
30 days into No Shit September, and it's just his face is about to pop.
Horrible.
Yeah. So that's what these people look like.
Or the TikTok I sent you, the sit down in that chair and stand up guy. Like,
yes.
He just fucking cranks his face into redness throughout,
my God.
progressively as that goes on. So David notices while he's scrambling. This is important to note, okay? Tonally. There's not time for you to go and reminisce in your kid's room that you don't have yet about the kid that you could have had in that room. You could still have the kid. While that's happening, David is frantically going through medicine cabinets to grab pills. Like, he's like, we need to do this fast so we get the fuck out of here. I'm just going to mosey on upstairs. So you're making life difficult for literally everyone else.
Get it together.
You know?
Get it the fuck together.
So fucking hears a noise from upstairs, notices that his wife is missing, and goes up, prepared to have a conversation that he doesn't want to have.
Yeah, because you can hear the baby toys going off.
Yeah, the mobile. So like he's like preparing himself on the landing, like, Judy, I don't want to have to go through this right now, okay? And then he walks in and gets fucked.
Oh, does he ever get fucked with a rope?
With a rope around his neck the second he sees his wife tied up in a chair. And so he loses his gun, and he's struggling to grab the gun, and then... and I'm hoping that you notice this as well.
Okay.
Peggy, the husband of Rory, or wife, not to assume gender, plunges a knife into the hand that David is using to reach for the gun.
Mm-hmm.
She does this from in front of him. And then it cuts to her walking out from behind him.
Oh, no.
You know how I know she does it in front of him? Because the fucking arm comes down like this, and the camera is at the elbow.
So what you're saying is she didn't have that reversible elbow surgery?
No.
The easy flow elbow? She doesn't have that?
She's not Romulux, nor is she Bruce Willis.
Oh, my God.
All right?
She's just Peggy from Iowa. With the incredible arm.
Calling into an Ask Myrtle radio station for sex advice.
She's got fucking Mr. Fantastic arms.
Yeah, she does. See, that was a phone call. I'm sure you've had one, but I get them all the time.
That's Aqua Teen for you.
I know, you can't bring that up without me saying that's the fucking best line that he says.
I did not notice.
Also, it's Todd Barry. I want you to know that.
I love Todd Barry.
Yeah, how can't you?
I did not notice that she walked out from behind him after stabbing him.
Yeah, pisses me off so bad. She walks out from a place where she could not possibly have reached with the knife to stab his hand.
Let's talk about how they managed to tie up the wife without making a fucking sound in that creaky old wood house.
Yeah, for some reason, even though Judy's favorite thing is to scream and alert everybody of their exact location at all times, she didn't do it when it was pertinent.
Yeah. And you tell me there wasn't a scuffle? Like,
yeah.
You didn't hear more than one set of footsteps on this wood fucking floor?
Yeah. And like the mobile, not loud because it's meant to put children to sleep. So, and you could hear that from downstairs.
Of course. No worries.
That's fine.
Not my movie. Just gotta keep reminding myself that.
Fuck's sake. So Peggy grabs the gun, realizes it was the gun that was used to kill her husband, and goes, well, I'll kill your wife in front of you then. Payback's a bitch, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then he says what he's been thinking ever since he pulled that fucking trigger, which was, I fucking killed that drunk and I loved it.
I'd kill him once and I'd kill him again.
Oh my God, dude. This is the most disrespectful thing for a sheriff to ever say. Holy fuck. So that gets her attention long enough for her to swing her arm over so that he can just, again, with fucking Gumby arms, knock that gun, despite the fact that he's on his stomach on the ground and she's standing up right out of her hand.
And like the son's got a rope around his neck. Is the son gonna fucking hold him down or not?
Yeah,
Make
can
up your
we
mind.
hurry up and kill the man? Like, fuck's sake.
Nah, he's like, I don't even know.
It's a BDSM kink he has. He's not trying to kill him. He's just having a good time.
I was trying to think of like Sylvester Stallone in Rambo. Like he knocks the gun out of her hand, rips his hand up out of the floorboard with the knife in it.
Yeah.
Fucking knocks the kid off of him, grabs her by the throat and stabs her.
Now,
Jesus Christ.
Who's there? David's infected now.
You would think so.
He got infected blood in his dirty hand cut.
That
means that he has it. If it's airborne, first of all, it's waterborne, which means it's blood transmissible. That's just how that works.
You know what? At the very least, he's now blood siblings with this mother.
Yeah, which is gross.
It is.
They have a much stronger bond than when he killed her husband. So that now we get this is supposed to be like a super, and I get it because I like the shot. Because he's got the knife in his hand and its inner neck, and he pulls it out of both. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's a CGI knife. I can look past that because it's a cool shot. What I can't look past is the fact that it took 2.5 minutes to get that knife out, and during that whole time, Peggy's son just has the gun and doesn't shoot it. He waits for her to fall and die before shooting the gun.
I don't even think he shoots it.
He doesn't get a chance to because here comes our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ Russell firing the most accurate sniper bullet through the window and right through the son's chest.
All right, Jay, listen.
Yep.
You look me in the eyes here.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking.
Now, I've seen enough forensic files to know that when you shoot a bullet because this is the second floor they're on.
It is.
And he's got his back to the window. Now, when you shoot a bullet, when you shoot a bullet upwards at somebody, that bullet then doesn't just come out of the front like it was a straight line.
No, that's correct. There would be angular momentum on that round.
It would likely, going in his back, like come up out of his head or mouth
head,
or
neck,
chest.
Yeah, upper area.
But like
not mid sternum. Like they were dueling at noon.
The bullet takes like a 110-degree turn.
It's a John F. Kennedy bullet.
It is. It's a magic bullet.
Yeah, so many of those in this movie.
It makes wonderful smoothies, and it also kills incest-looking, veiny-faced motherfuckers. Thank you, bullet, for being so magic.
David Blaine bullet.
So, yeah, that's another time where a bullet saved somebody from another room.
Yep.
Wow.
Great. Just keeps happening.
Can we just get that 1 to 2 more times, please? It didn't affect me the first time. I didn't care.
Well, you're in luck.
Oh, good.
Because we get it at least one more time.
Oh, thank you. That's all I ask. That's all I ask is that the same thing happen more than once. So what happens after this? Because they're just like, we're just done. They get in the car and they fix it up and they go.
Super pissed. Super pissed. Despite the fact that Russell is clearly the only sick person in the entire car, he really gets on Becca's dick for coughing twice.
He sure does.
Really, real bad. And then the stupidest fucking line in the fucking entire movie happens while they're driving out. This is the thing, right? And this is why this movie starts to fall apart right at this scene when they get back to the house. That's when this whole thing starts to fall to pieces. While they're driving, a fucking military helicopter flies directly over them.
20 feet over them.
And Russell goes, "Did they see us?"
Who, us? The only car on the gravel fucking road?
The only car in Iowa as far as this helicopter is concerned.
Yeah.
Its job is to look for people fleeing from the quarantine town. I think it's safe to assume they saw you.
Oh, yeah. You mean when they flew, what's the word I'm looking for? Not parallel, but perpendicular.
Yeah.
When they flew perpendicular to you so they
directly over the vehicle on purpose.
Drive from left to right in their field of vision.
Yeah.
As they Yes, they did.
But nah, David just goes, "I don't know."
Well, about to find out.
Fucking find out in 10 goddamn seconds. So if you're trying to leave an area where people are trying to kill you, you think people are trying to kill, the military is, at the very least, Crazies are. And a helicopter full of people trying to kill you flies over you. What would you do in that situation?
Well, I'd probably keep going. Mm-hmm. I'd probably try and hide. You know?
Would you consider a car wash the only standing structure within a kilometer radius a good hiding spot?
Now, I would take it into consideration. And then I would go, oh, this helicopter is right there looking at me.
Yeah.
Probably not going to drive into that building.
Watching me pull into it, likely.
Yeah.
But also, the guy in the helicopter goes, oh, that car was there and now it's not. I should probably check the car wash.
Yeah, let me just drop a bomb on the gas station.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever watched like helicopter footage of people chasing criminals. They don't miss much.
No, they're really good at continuing to see them.
Yeah, they have vision. They're able to do that.
Yeah. Fuck. Let's hide in the car wash though, so we're stuck. Now, while they're in the car wash starts up because there's fucking crazies in the car wash.
Yeah, there's like body shop guys working at the car wash. They're moonlighting as crazy fucks.
20 seconds elapsed between I can't remember who it was. I think it's Becca seeing somebody traipsing around, and David realizing that he should probably press on the gas. That's too long.
Yeah,
that's too long of a fucking time. Also, during this fucking scene, what the fuck? David and Judy get into an argument where I'm trying to remember the context of the argument, but David goes, "Tell me which magical road they can't see, and I'll fucking go."
Yeah. Oh, what was that? she was saying, like we gotta like hide somewhere.
Yeah, find a road out of town or some shit. We gotta get to Cedar Rapids, some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he has that fucking. Just what magic road are they not gonna see us on?
Yeah.
I do remember. I don't remember the context either, though.
I wanted to bring it up because I want you to remember that point. I want you to remember that specific point that David makes in a huff at his wife.
Oh, all she says is that they need to take another road.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, what road are they not going to see us on?
First of all, bad advice.
Yeah.
But
yeah, oh, for sure.
I need you to remember that point specifically, that he said that out loud, angrily.
And also, this is one road.
Yeah, there's one.
There's just one road. That's it.
Which road would you like me to take? The road or the road?
Left or right? It's life is a highway, man, and I'm gonna drive it
all night long
until this helicopter fucking bombs my police car.
Yeah. So the crazies start up the car wash for really no reason because it just makes the people inside the car more difficult to murder. And Russell's in the fucking backseat being my most hated person in a car ever. When somebody is clearly trying to get out of a situation and they're just like, go!
Yeah.
Go! Come on!
Hey! Have you turned the car on yet?
Did you try turning it off and on again?
Which gear are you in? Go!
Are you pressing the gas pedal? I know those are confusing.
Yeah, he's also doing that, and he's like firing his shotgun out of the back window willy-nilly.
Yeah. Also, no recoil on that shotgun when he fires it.
Oh, yeah, none. And then also, the fucking car wash takes it away.
Yeah, it does. Turns out it's a fucking Stephen King book. The car wash is the villain.
The car wash was the villain the entire time.
While they're getting out, fucking somebody, one of the crazies bashes out the back window, wraps a hose around Becca's neck and hangs her in 2 seconds. It takes her to die from hanging. You know how fucking long it takes to die from hanging? A painfully long time. That's why it sucks to die that way.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. You don't just get pulled out of your car and then immediately. First of all, this magic hose. Jay.
What the fuck is this hose attached to? I hadn't assumed that it was. You know how you go to the self car washes and they have the power washer that comes from the ceiling.
Yeah.
I just went ahead and I was like, it's that.
Oh, sure.
Because what the fuck else could it possibly be?
Yeah. That's fine. Assume it's that. Let's talk about the length of this fucking hose.
30-foot hose.
Do you know when you're sitting down, you are shorter. So when you're in a car, you're sitting down, you're closer to the ground.
That's right.
So having a hose wrapped around your neck and you're dragged out of a car, your feet are going to hit the ground. Probably.
Your knees might.
You're not going to swing 6 feet in the air.
No. That's right.
No. I'm just wondering, how long is this hose? Because he got it right into the car to hang her with it.
Listen.
And then, what was it, like a bungee cable?
Yeah, the hose varies in length based on what it's needed for.
Okay? Oh, it's a Harry Potter hose.
Yeah, it's one of those hoses that respools itself.
Oh,
when you let go of it.
Fucking love those. The ones that, like, when they're out of water, they just go and just like flat like a tapeworm.
Yes, like that.
Okay.
So, I don't give a fuck. It takes forever to die from strangulation, regardless of the method. Somebody might make the argument, well, sometimes when people are hanged, their neck breaks. Not with a flimsy rubber hose, it sure the fuck doesn't. So that's out.
Yeah.
She dies instantly. And she doesn't flail at all.
They're not moving at a decent rate. It's a car wash automated conveyor belt they're on.
They haven't made it out of the car wash yet. It's quite slow.
Yeah, she would have been like pulled out real slow and just like she shouldn't.
And then they got out of it and immediately got her down. Like she would have been fine.
There's plenty of time to unrope yourself.
She'd have had a sore throat for 2 days.
The second I saw that rope coming in, I would have been like, no rope.
Also, that
I would have moved my neck.
Grab that shit. I don't understand how people don't just grab that shit.
Put your whole shoulder through the loop. Like, do it. Goddamn.
Pussy. So, and this is why I wanted you to remember the point. Now we're down to David, Judy, and Russell. David, less than an hour ago, had said that they see all of the roads. So now that we're on foot, let's all three of us walk dead center down the only road. They can't possibly spot us now. You got farm on either side, full of corn, probably over 6 feet high.
Oh, but that's hard to walk in, Jay.
Oh,
they didn't bring their corn walking shoes.
I didn't think about their shoesies.
Yeah, you really got to put some thought into that.
My fucking bad on that.
Have a fucking thought every now and then, Jay. So they're walking and they come across the vehicle that the deputy had. He's like, yeah, they spike stripped me, and they go and like check it out. And then another vehicle comes down the road, and
there's just a fucking what's it called, the hatchback wagon, like the family road trip wagon, which is on the other side of the road.
Yeah, there's 2 cars there. Yeah. So the sheriff decides that he's gonna take this car from the government person who's coming at them. With his revolver.
Yep.
Now, I don't know, like, he had his revolver and, like, a little help from Jesus with, like, this GTA hacker lobby bullshit. Yeah, let me fire 1 bullet into this revolver. Oh, got him. Nailed it. Fucking headshot. What the fuck was that? What was the plan?
So neither of their plans were that great.
No.
Russell decides that
he's a fucking wild card is what he decides.
Yeah, for some reason it's payback time, despite that being their only. Now, here's the thing, right? That vehicle would have been the perfect vehicle to escape this situation, because it's whatever, the FBI, fucking Secret Service,
camouflage.
Exactly. They're not going to be surprised. Oh, that's one of us leaving, because that's a good idea to do that.
Just a toot. Don't even roll down the window.
Nah, I'm going to spike strip it, rendering it undrivable. Now, David's plan was, I'm going to shoot the driver, and then the car would crash anyway, because it's driving suddenly without somebody to steer it.
You just hope that straight road does you good.
So they're both idiots, and they get what they deserve, which is a fucking busted up car.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking pull the guy out, interrogate him for all of 5 seconds, and then Russell goes, that's enough.
First, they interrogate this motherfucker, and he's like, yeah. They're like, what was on the plane? What was on the plane?
I'll just tell you exactly what.
Here, I'm gonna spill every bean in the bag.
Yeah,
and
for no reason.
He says, like, oh, it's blah, blah, blah. It's something called Trixie. And then immediately doctor's like, a bioweapon, huh? I read that on a Wikipedia page.
It's a variant of a virus called rhabdomyolysis. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, basically, heat exhaustion. Doesn't make any fucking sense. The problem, the mistake they made was naming the disease after a real one. Because then I get to Google something and find out it's fucking stupid.
Whoops,
rhabdo. You know what that's treated with? Water.
Just a little water.
Drink some fucking water, you're great in a day.
Oh, but it's a really damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because it's in the water.
Yeah, well, Quick Phil's got bottles.
They sure do. Thank God for Phil and his quickness.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how all I heard was the word Trixie, and she's like, I fucking know what that is. Yeah. So I was pretty pissed off because she's the doctor.
Well, he fucking just steamrolls through the word rhabdo anyway.
Okay.
I was like, I caught it because I've seen that episode of House a million times.
So yeah, this weapon is designed to destabilize a population, and it's got a 48-hour incubation period. So, you got 48 hours, you either have it or you don't. Mm-hmm. And that's about all the information we get before the deputy fucking blows this guy's head off.
Yeah. Because he had enough of the conversation.
Yep.
And it was easier than leaving it.
For sure. And it was right before this guy was about to give them more useful information.
Yeah, probably stuff about like a cure or treatment, maybe.
Perhaps. Assume. You never know. Yeah, and you never know.
Now, destabilize a population is government speak for fuck everything up. Just fuck it all up on purpose.
Just really ruffle some papers.
Yeah. Destabilize a population, I think, is probably what they said right before invading Iraq.
Right before they dropped that H-bomb. Just this population's too stable. Let's fucking eradicate it.
Let's knock that off kilter. Let's put a stick in the spokes of that population.
At this point, they finally decide to take the deputy's gun.
Yeah.
Finally.
Not without some protest though.
Oh no.
I don't. Now this man is teetering on infirm at this point. Let's have a fist fight about that gun. Because the dude is pale as fuck and he's barely existing in his head.
Yeah, he's one drip of sweat away from looking like he's got the flu.
Yeah, so he goes, well, if you're going to take my sniper rifle, I'm going to point the other gun I have at you until you give it back. And then we're going to walk like hostages.
Yeah, it becomes a hostage situation real quick.
For 100 feet. Until David goes, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's fix it.
And he asks him to put the gun down another 1,000 times.
Yeah, he does.
That's the most said phrase in this fucking movie.
It's his favorite.
Put the gun down,
please.
He's
practicing for his exam.
Yeah, his hostage negotiation exam.
Yeah.
Hey, just put the gun down.
Yeah, best hostage negotiator ever.
So
I don't know what to tell you. I told him to put the gun down.
He didn't put the gun down, so
30 people are dead. I told them not to.
I tried.
I said, please.
The man said no. He gave me the finger, and I said, that's enough.
I believe in body autonomy.
I'm not going to stand here and just be fingered by some gun-wielding maniac.
No.
That's for sure.
I'm better than that. I didn't go to school for that.
So... yeah, he's trying to have like a moment where he's like, dude, I just want to talk this out, brother to brother, man, to put the gun down. Let's just have this conversation right here, right now. So here's the deal. And then he punches him in the fucking face.
Here's the thing. Right in the nose, and then surprised that he's bleeding, which you got punched in the fucking nose. It's gonna.
Well, the whole thing is like when you get infected, I guess a sign of that is having a bloody nose because 2 people had that. But also, you just got decked.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Even if he had been bleeding from the nose previous, like, what is it like bringing a girl's period down? Like, oh, you were in there. You made it happen.
He just, this bloody nose convinces him that he's got a disease.
Yeah, that's the thing. Not the cold sweat that you've had all day.
Yeah, it's not the urge to kill and just be a fucking wild card this whole time.
Yeah, fuck's sake.
Yeah, nah. Now you know, because I just punched you and your nose bled.
Yeah. So now he's essentially the hostage. They make an agreement like, yeah, you can walk with us, but there's gonna come a time where I'm going to kill you.
How convenient.
The unspoken. Yeah, super convenient that they didn't just leave him for dead like he was going to be anyway. After pointing a gun in my face. So and this is the other thing too, like later on, because they let him walk and then they come across a military barricade and then he has the opportunity to self-sacrifice. And that's supposed to be like this deep sentimental moment between a sheriff and his deputy. Except I just kept thinking about when he had the gun in his face.
Yeah.
Like right in it.
Yeah, is he coming around from the sickness or what?
It kind of ruins the sentimentality of the moment when you threatened to kill me this afternoon.
It also kind of ruins like the sentimentalness of it when it takes the sheriff all of 3 seconds to be like, all right, yeah, get out there.
Yeah. And that's what I wrote down, that Timothy Olyphant can't fucking process emotion as an actor, because given the heft of the moment that they were trying to convey, shed a tear. Shed a tear.
Have a frown.
Mm-hmm.
One frown.
Don't just stare stoically like you're admiring a statue. And also R1.
Yeah, maybe say thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think he said one fucking thank you.
Give the man some last words in his life.
Not just like, all right, bet. See how close you can get before they put him in you.
Real close, as it turns out. And I was kind of surprised by that, too. Not really sure why Russell chose to completely unload the gun. I guess his point was, like, to protest the whole situation.
Maybe he wanted them to feel like dickheads when they realized that his gun was unloaded.
That's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking killed me, huh?
Except he points it at them.
Yeah, he does.
First of all, he's got his hands up like he's gonna surrender, gun in hand, and he just points it at him, and then they're gonna shoot you.
Of course they are. It's their job to do that.
Yeah, it's
Did you see what David did to Rory at the very beginning of this movie?
Oh, it's the exact same thing.
Yes, it is.
So he gets lit up.
He does.
He gets blown away on that little road.
That bulletproof vest didn't do shit.
If it did, like, yeah, sure, for the first bullet, but the second bullet just cleared a path.
Yeah, it did. If anything, you were just making it easier to get inside him.
So they make it to fucking quick fills.
They do. Because it is barren.
They snuck through the tall grass. Why didn't they just sneak through the tall grass? they didn't need that distraction.
They sneak through the tall grass and then they go back onto the open road.
Yeah. Just on the other side, like they aren't going to turn around. Like they're going to just look with their eyes.
Well, they don't. These military outfits that they're wearing, I think, are like the Batman suit. Where it's just you can't turn your neck.
Gotcha. They have to turn their
whole body.
They have to spin on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah.
That's how they got away. It takes them a while to spin around with all that gear.
So they make it to quick fills, and there's an untouched monster display in there. Just stacked to the roof, man.
I didn't even notice that.
That's how you know business is bad.
I was too busy paying attention to the fact that David leaves his wife out in the open at the empty gas station while he goes inside to safety.
Well, she made her choice. She goes around to like check out the back and see the trailers and the mass grave of charred bodies.
Check that out with the bullets on the ground.
See what's up there. I think she like enters. Does she go in? She goes in the place, right? She goes in the place at some point.
She does
because they got a smooch. They have this big old dirty smooch.
I'm watching this fucking movie, right? And I yelled out loud, and my roommate Ryan was in the room, and I don't remember what I said, but he turned around and he goes, "Oh, are they doing the thing they do in every horror movie where there's no urgency when there should be?" Yeah, they are. Let's have a conversation about how nothing's ever going to be the same and it's not going to be okay anymore. Even though my husband is trying to put on a brave face while he rescues me and our unborn child.
Yeah.
I'm just going to shoot that right in the foot and be a bitch right to him. And then apologize for it. And then I did really appreciate David sitting down and being like, listen, do you want to just give up? Because I'll fucking sit here and die. Do you like that?
Oh, wait, is that what you want? Or do you want to smooch and get the fuck out of here?
Yeah. There's not time for a kiss. That's all I'm saying.
Well, they find time.
100 feet away. There's not time for it. Hurry up. This whole scene is hurry the fuck up. I don't know why Judy just chose to stay in the diner with a glass of water and then go over to the bar. And this is what I mean when I say things happen in this movie just in service of the movie. She goes over to the fucking behind the restaurant bar and grabs a bottle of water so that we can get a shot inside the kitchen to see the hillbillies standing there ominously in the background like the strangers.
I'm assuming it's the same three hillbillies.
It is.
Yeah.
Because the one's got the mohawk, the one that gets oiled up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was no need because he's there 1 second, gone the next.
He's there like, that. And then why wouldn't you just stay with your husband? He's like, I'm going to go get the working truck, the fucking Mack truck that I saw in the garage that's in pristine condition. Why wouldn't you just follow him? Why are you going to sit around by yourself in a dangerous location?
Because she has to drink that brand named water.
I don't know what the brand.
It was Evian.
Was it?
It was either Evian or Dasani.
Needed to have the Monster and the Evian. I'm pretty sure they're owned by the same company.
They are. Yeah. So, I mean...
It doesn't make any sense for her to be alone by herself.
It doesn't make any sense for that hillbilly to not just fucking shoot her.
Yeah, in the back of the head.
Yep.
And yeah, this is another thing too. Like, what about this virus turns it into like a fun escape room? Because they cut the lights and you see the guy walking around outside with a gun that he could easily have fired. But no, it's fucking Wolf Creek. We're doing big game hunting. Remember that fucking arcade game?
I love that arcade game.
So it's that.
Yeah,
we're gonna turn this fucking restaurant into a fun escape room for this couple.
Let's flip the lights off and then bring a flashlight. Just leave the lights on.
Also, illuminate myself.
Yeah, I only want to see it
now they know where the danger is.
Yeah, show me one spot at any given time. So yeah, she hides from these guys, E.T. style, amongst some dead bodies.
In the, I mean, it's a fucking kitchen cooler that they've repurposed into Jeffrey Dahmer's bedroom. They just have fucking bodies hanging from the ceiling.
Oh yeah,
lined up and like stuffed into shelves like a fucking basket of paper towels that didn't quite fit. And yeah, she's just hiding in there. And then that guy really puts no effort into trying to find her in that room.
He moves a dead body, kinda.
Yeah,
he pushes it out of the way,
and then fucking bye.
Yeah.
Damn.
So okay, they're in a meat locker, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Where the fuck does the sheriff come from? Behind her! And he startles her.
He comes from behind her even though she's backed up against a fucking stainless steel wall.
In a room with one door.
Yeah.
Because why didn't she just go out the other fucking door?
It might have two doors.
Then why didn't she just go out the other fucking door instead of hiding amongst the dead bodies, Jay?
You raise a great point. If I had the choice between door and bodies, I'm going to choose door 9 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like you got to jiggle the handle or some bullshit, then maybe bodies.
Why? Okay, so if there's another door, why didn't we hear it? Because it's like a meat locker doesn't have like a silent door. There's like a whole system of latches to keep the cold in.
You're right.
It's like opening a safe vault sometimes.
It seemed like it was wide open. And so now these hillbillies have turned this into their fucking murder palace, right? So maybe they don't care if the meat spoils, you know?
All right. They're not eating it. They're just piling it up for trophies.
This is the sound of me making excuses for a movie when it doesn't make sense. I'm aware. Okay?
Either way, the sheriff startles her from behind again.
I also want to mention, why didn't you do a complete and full sweep of the area when you got into it, knowing the situation that you're in?
I'll give you that.
Solved every fucking problem right there.
But
don't know why at a point where you're hiding from being murdered, you feel the need to startle your wife.
Mm-hmm,
That's not. She's already notorious for screaming.
And to that point, putting your hand over somebody's mouth muffles fuck all when they're screaming.
That's true.
It's still very loud.
It's just a scream. It's just a somewhat quieter scream.
Yeah, and now you got a hot, wet hand.
Yeah,
that's
gross.
it. That's all that happens. There was like another scene too where she like gets a knife and she peeks around a corner and then boom, there's an ugly man there. That was the whole thing. She runs into a meat locker.
I would call that the one effective jump scare in the movie because it's not like. It happens really fast. They don't dwell on it. The lights are flickering, and she peers around for 2 seconds, and bop, right there. So good, fine.
The keyhole one actually got me.
The keyhole one got me, but I was so mad about how stupid it was that I'm not counting it.
I'm ashamed to admit it. I am.
No real explanation, as to why fucking the rednecks turn into Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, I get the whole Deliverance big game hunting shit, but why are you keeping them? You know?
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, they're hunters. Like, this is trophies, I guess.
So fucking David opens the door to the truck and a body falls out, and then Judy screams, as is her job to do in this movie.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Because there's one thing you're gonna have. You're gonna keep getting startled by things. You're never gonna get used to it.
Yeah. David falls into the little mechanic's undercarriage there.
Like the dude grabs his leg and just yanks him.
That's what I meant. Okay. She's in the truck and she's like, fucking hurry up. And then when the guy grabs his leg, he makes this face like Wile E. Coyote makes when he's about to fall off a cliff once gravity gets to him.
Oh, yeah, where his like feet go first and his head stays in the same spot.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the exact face. So all of the tension of the scene is now ruined because you made me think about Looney Tunes.
You did this to me. He fucking, so he yanks him under the truck.
Yeah.
And is like without his knees bending and possibly backwards somehow.
So the way it looks, based on how he falls in, is that when he got pulled, he magically went sideways and then rolled down.
Yes, because you would roll into the pit for sure.
That's all I got for you.
So they're in this like
they're fighting down there.
Under the vehicle repair pit, the trench.
It is one. Dirty. I've said dirty like 15 times this podcast.
It's a small town. Everything's dirty.
The guy with the high caliber, high powered, single shot assault rifle fires at Judy while she's hiding in the cab of the truck, and for some reason, the door is bulletproof.
Somehow.
He fires like 4 shots, and that thing, that's gotta be like 42. Well, you know? Those rounds don't fuck around.
They go through the door. I just don't understand how they didn't hit her.
I assume they didn't go through the door.
I don't know. They look like bullet holes, but maybe they're bullet dents. It's a dumb fucking thing.
It was a dumb thing.
It's like I imagined it to be like in that Magician's Act where you stab swords through the box. You just miss the person each time.
She was in there fucking like an acrobat.
Yeah.
She was in the perfect position for all the bullets to whiz past her.
Right through each crook. Yeah.
The giant mohawked redneck gets the best death in the whole movie. Fucking David just pushes a tray of oil into him and lights him up.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
He's got like a yellow eye, too, I noticed.
Now, my issue with this is that up until this point, it seems as though part of this virus, you don't really feel pain. So I don't know why he panicked when he was set ablaze. I figure it would have made more sense for him to just keep attacking and then eventually collapse from being on fire.
It would have.
You know?
It would have.
Because he had just been punched in the face about 4 times and he did nothing. You know? Whoops.
Maybe he's just got a really strong skull and paper-thin skin.
I think there should be more movies that have people on fire still functioning for a brief period.
I'm with you on that.
I understand it's probably hard logistically to get a guy in the fire suit not to be like, this sucks now.
Yeah, you only get a couple takes. You only get 1 or 2 takes of that.
So they while they've been in this truck stop, David came across a radio upon which he heard a countdown.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know enough about countdowns to know that nothing good ever comes of them.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's New Year's Eve. Sometimes it's a surprise birthday party. You know?
Okay, surprise birthday party, fine. I would never do that to someone because that's mean. If I walked into my house and there's 15 people in it and they all screamed at once, they might not leave with all their limbs.
You're just gonna go on a rampage.
I'm just gonna fucking see red on that.
All right, guys. So don't scream at Jay because it sets him off.
Not only was my home invaded, but it's by people yelling at me.
Your 2 worst nightmares.
I'm gonna have a fucking anxiety attack. That's the worst thing ever. And then New Year's Eve, sit there and tell me that the beginning of a new year isn't the most fucking daunting thing. Oh, I have another 365 days to make mistakes.
Yeah, but you get to smooch somebody.
Yeah, that must be nice.
It is.
So they fucking hop in that truck. They are hearing the countdown and fucking... Judy's like, what happens when it gets to 0? And David looks at her like, take a fucking guess, you bimbo. Just take a shot in the fucking dark. What if we dealt with all day?
For real.
Use your goddamn brain.
Think about it.
Holy shit.
Just think for 1 minute.
You know? Just one. So fucking, yeah. The town gets tactically nuked.
Yeah. Oh.
And
if it not nuked,
carpet bombed, you call it what you will.
Like, there's no town left.
No, it's Hiroshima in that town now.
Yeah, there's just a big black smudge where that town used to be.
And the force of the blast lifts the truck up off the road and rolls it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this point, it's already been established that David, because he shared blood with an infected person, is also infected. Let alone that, Judy watches that explosion happen, so her retinas are burned. Also, she didn't put her thumb up. I could tell you, though, so I learned this from Fallout. If you see a nuclear blast and you put your thumb up and your thumb obscures the entire mushroom cloud, not the mushroom cloud, but like the stem, that means you're far enough away not to be affected by radiation poisoning.
That's interesting.
I could tell you right now, they weren't far enough away because that was right in their back fucking yard, which means even if he's not infected, they're dead.
Not necessarily.
They're dead in a month.
So I was watching a thing about in World War II when they were afraid of an aerial attack. What they made was a nuke that explodes in the sky.
Yeah.
So that airplanes can't get away.
Right.
And when you blow it up in the sky, like it's high enough in the air that everybody's fine.
Yeah.
And it's only like a matter of like a Empire State Building or two.
That one was on the ground though.
But you're still the distance. Like the shockwave, I don't think would have went that far. I don't know.
Did you ever watch the old fucking the recordings of when they were just like firing off like lower powered A-bombs and stuff when they were testing them out?
Yeah,
and you get to watch the fucking building get blown back.
So there's that, but there's this as well. There's video of it. It's just like dudes standing directly underneath it, going like, oh. That's,
I assume because it explodes up and outward, so I understand. Great question. It would depend on the power of the explosion. Right?
I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not a nuclear physicist, so I don't know. But what I do know is that these two smooched, so they're both sick.
Yeah, fucking thank you. I didn't even think about that. Rad.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie essentially ends with them crawling out of the truck, which I don't have any qualms about because I did the same thing with a fucking minivan and I was fine. And walking away, no longer on the road, finally some common sense. But turns out the satellite imagery can see them anyway, and they're heading to Cedar Rapids, initiate quarantine protocol.
Just fucking blow it up.
Yeah. Nip it in the bud.
Drop another nuke right there.
Yeah.
You can see them.
If you dropped it in that field, chances are Cedar Rapids, fine.
And if not, like, whoops.
Yeah.
End of film.
End of film.
Juxtaposition, jaunty little end tune there.
Yeah.
That's it. And then there's like a little
We'll meet again, and then that fucking dumb song at the end.
Yeah. There's a little newscast thing that pops up, and it's like, wow, this town, a factory exploded in it. That's what that explosion was.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I turned it off before I got to that.
That's fine. That's all that's the end credits. That's the Marvel end credit scene. It's just like them trying to explain it away.
I hate when they do that. Just put it before the credits. Why do you got to make me sit through names of people?
Just don't even put it in. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, man.
The movie's over.
It is. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it was a 7 for me, and now it's a 6 because of this conversation. That's fine.
I'm gonna give it a 7. It's a little more than average, but not by much.
Yeah. All the stuff that I liked about it was overshadowed by the stuff I didn't like in hindsight. So here we are.
There was a lot of really convenient stuff in
it,
and
I didn't really think about how everything was just happening right when it should.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I could I overlooked all the convenience. And it's 6.5. You know what? Fucking, I really.
The more we talk about it, the lower it's gonna go.
Yeah, we're on a slippery slope here.
Oh shit.
If that old lady wasn't asking for Peter, like.
Oh, dude. 4.
Boom. That's the film.
The Crazies.
The Crazies.
So I got 3 movies for you this week. Real fucking easy to pick themes for this one. Real easy. I didn't even have to look anything up.
I'm glad I did you a service.
You did. 2 of them are kind of similar, but they're very different movies.
Okay.
So
I'm into it.
I included them both anyway. I don't give a fuck. We have governmentally engineered virus mishap.
Oh, shit.
We have biological weapon released. Those are the 2 similar ones.
All right.
They're different, but they are similar in tone. And there's something in the water, which was also my 2 sentences or less. I'm going to let you know right now, all 3 of these are bangers, so don't even worry.
So, which one was Resident Evil? Because I think it fits into both of those, kind of.
It does. Resident Evil is governmentally engineered virus mishap.
Okay. Is the other one called Outbreak? Is it a movie about the monkey? No?
No.
Okay.
Fuck. I almost should. I haven't seen it.
Let's do that one. The
biological weapon released?
Yeah.
Watching Planet Terror this week.
Yes!
Yep.
Yes!
I knew when I put it on here
this is what it's all about.
I knew
this is what it's all about.
Planet fucking Terror.
Drippy dicks falling right off of people.
Chick with a gun for a leg.
Yes!
Bruce Willis's bubbly face.
Oh my God. Was it Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, it is.
Oh boy, this falls right into
Bless his heart.
Right into the Spy Kids universe.
No.
Yes.
I refuse.
It's in there.
I'm pretty sure Danny Trejo ain't in this movie.
It's the beginning. He's Machete. And
it's a trailer, but that's only if you watch both Grindhouse movies in the same film.
It's on the DVD. It's right in there. Yeah. Anyway, I'm stoked on that. That's good. This is good.
Third one, There's Something in the Water, was The Bay.
Oh man,
so
that's a good one.
Still, human infection. That was sort of the tone I was going for with all of these.
I liked. Damn, The Bay was good. I haven't seen it in a long time. But those like bugs in the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Bugs in the fish.
Based on a real phenomenon. Yeah. About I guess they're isopods. Anyway, they'll chew off a fish's tongue and then take its place so that it eats its food.
I didn't know fish had tongue, and
do you feel gross for having that?
Yeah, because you could get licked by a fish.
Yeah, you can. Some of them have teeth.
That's not. I don't like the human looking ones. Upsetting.
No, they're my favorite simultaneously and my worst fear.
I don't want that thing grinning at me as it's swimming.
Grinning and swimming.
It reminds me of the.
But enough about my semen.
That also reminds me of the fucking fish from Monty Python.
Oh yeah, the slaps. Or something else?
No, just the fish with people faces. Fuck. I think it's Meaning of Life.
Like when it was animated? Was it
no.
I know. It's when the fat guy's in the restaurant, he projectile vomits.
And they're watching it, yeah.
Yeah, right. I was thinking about the fish slap. It's like the two guys in the safari outfits.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah. Well,
Planet Terror?
Planet Terror next week.
The Crazies was a fucking bafflingly convenient movie.
Almost as convenient as a whole store. A store around the corner that sells most things that you need.
And it's called Quick Fills.
God,
if I ever make a porno, that's the title. It's going to be about premature ejaculation.
Did Peter call?
Somebody's Peter called.